Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with our crew this evening of Andrew Henderson, Casey Lavin, Thomas Rudolph, and Garrett Dworshak. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to tonight's non-league game between the six-time defending champion Corvallis Knights out of the West Coast League and the All-Stars from the Cascade Collegiate League, drawn from 4 teams from a variety of schools. I will try to enumerate those schools as we go tonight, but where these teams in the CCL are drawn from, the schools that feed these 4 Summer League teams based in the state of Washington, again, it would probably take most of the rest of the broadcast just to list them all. But what far more important tonight than even the game itself is what the night is all about. It's Strikeout Cancer Night presented by Pioneer Connect. Kicking-cancer.org, a website we encourage you to check out as we go tonight. But it's a night where a great effort, the ongoing effort to kick cancer, to strike out cancer, and the so many brave souls and loved ones that we all know that have been touched. You yourself perhaps have, and anyone listening has been touched by this disease. I know that I have in my own life, losing my mom when I was 20 years of age to cancer. She was only 53, but fought a long battle. But tonight, I think we have one person representing so many as this Strikeout Cancer Night, an annual event. The Knights will be wearing special jerseys and hats with courage emblazoned on the backs of each of the players' jerseys tonight. And courage is the mantra for our own Jen Bowman, who has been such a big part of Corvallis Knights baseball since she was recruited out of the hotel industry here in the community. Jen Beaumont listening tonight as she watches and listens to every game now that she's no longer been able to come to the games, but has been working all the way through, even now in hospice care. So, Jen, we're thinking of you tonight, and Aaron and Wyatt Earp and Jesse James, your dogs. We hope you will enjoy this live stream broadcast tonight. We'll be talking about you and are so thankful for you and your life and your courage in the long battle that you've had since diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer back in May of 2020. And she has outlived the prognosis, and she continues to fight and battle every day. Jen, we love you, and we're thinking of you here tonight. I know the Knights will be throughout the evening. Joey Munt is my pregame show guest. His ordeal has not been that of Jen Beaumont's and so many others who fight cancer, but he hasn't pitched in 2 years, recovering from Tommy John surgery. He will share his thoughts about returning now as a Corvallis Knight and getting ready for Oregon State baseball in the fall. Joey Munt coming up next on our Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, a special night tonight, Strikeout Cancer Night, honoring Jen Beaumont and so many others who fought a very courageous fight. Special uniforms being worn by all the Knights players tonight, including my pregame show guest wearing his Courage uniform, Joey Munt, and in a different way, and certainly not dealing with the same kinds of things that Jen and so many others this night is all about, in a Strikeout Cancer Night. Nevertheless, Joey Munt joining me. And Joey, you have been through in your life and in your career a long stretch being idle, not being able to pitch in games, and now you've had 2 outings with the Knights, and I thought, it looks like you're throwing well. What's it like just to get back on the mound after almost 2 years?
It's exciting. It feels good to just be out there on the mound and competing against guys in a game situation. I've had some live outings, but being in a game atmosphere really tests where I'm at, and being able to be out there and compete is unbelievable. I'm so excited to be out there, so just excited, yeah.
Joey, take us through the last time we saw you 2 years ago with the Beavers. Take us through, if you would, kind of what happened from that point on into where we are tonight on this June the 23rd, 2 years later.
Yeah, so been 2 years since I'd pitched in a Beav uniform, and I'd be at the TCU Regional. After that, I had an off season and ramped back up for fall, had a great fall, went home for winter, and then that's when I had my elbow injury, and I ended up getting Tommy John.
When exactly?
I had Tommy John in the middle of March, so it was right at the beginning of the season. I didn't pitch any that year, and Tommy John is a 12 to 14-month recovery, and it ended up taking me the full 14 months, so I ended up having to miss two seasons as a Beav, and it's unfortunate, but it's part of the process.
Joey Munt joining me. Joey, was there any sense after that 21 season, did you feel anything, or did it kind of come upon you, as you said, in the winter, and then you get the surgery in March? Were you aware that something might be going on that you hope rest would simply take care of?
Yeah, no, it really did just kind of come out of nowhere. I just had one outing where I got done. I felt some pain that I've never had in my elbow, and we ended up getting an MRI 2 days later and had some doctors look at it, and unfortunately it was what it was.
It's an unfortunate part of a pitcher's experience at all levels. For you, what was it like to deal with that physically, the long process, the surgery itself, and the rehab, and then kind of in the heart and the soul? I mean, how has it been for you these past couple of years, physically and mentally?
It's been a long process, that's for sure. Physically, I feel great, and I feel like my elbow is stronger than it ever has been, but the hardest process was you have to relearn how to throw a baseball and relearn that muscle memory, and I think that's what I'm doing here with the Knights, and just figuring everything out again, and I'm really excited about it.
When you say relearn, I mean, I've read and we've all read about people who undergo strokes and have to learn again how to talk. It just seems almost impossible to imagine what that must be like. And I wonder, if you say relearn, I mean, do you feel like when you picked up a baseball again, that it was like starting all over?
Absolutely. And that's the thing, you have to go back and be like, I just have to throw like a kid again, and can't overthink it. That was the biggest thing, was less thoughts is best. Just go out there and throw like I always have been, and just repetitive throws, and that's what got it back to where I am now. So,
Joey Munt, my guest. Joey, who's helped you a lot in the process? I mean, people back home, your family support system, Oregon State coaches, trainers. I mean, how have you kind of been able to stay on track through this whole time?
I'd say all of the above. Really big help from the Oregon State coaches. They've helped me. It's up and downs. That's the whole thing. Like, some days you feel great, some days you feel terrible, and they're just there to keep you on the path of success and get you where you need to be. Rich Dorman helped me so much. Darwin Barney's he got me out of a really dark hole at one point when I was trying to figure everything out. So, really excited about that.
Did that dark hole ever have you thinking along the lines of, hey, I'm done, my career is over? I mean, did you ever have those kinds of thoughts?
There were definitely thoughts like that. Just rushing back for the season last year, I was really trying to get in there, and that just wasn't in my cards, to be honest, and it was frustrating. And I'm old, and I realize that, but with COVID and everything, I've I got more eligibility, so I'm going to take advantage of it, and I know I can go out there and dominate and support the Bees, and that's what it's all about.
And let's close with a thought, Joey, about this summer, 2 outings in, and how you felt so far, but kind of what we'll see, what you hope to see as this summer goes along in terms of ramping up pitch count, et cetera.
Definitely. We've been doing 1 inning, and then I'm going to get 3 days and hopefully get up again. And just every other outing, I think we're going to go more pitches, more innings. And big thing I want to work on is just fastball command. I know where to throw my slider whenever I want, and I know that's there. So I'd like to be able to start using that a little more and bring that into the college season.
Is there anything else, the fastball command, nasty slider, anything else, a changeup? I mean, anything else that you, in this relearning the whole art of pitching, that you're adding?
Not really, just feel. And I think that's the biggest part is just keep getting the ball, keep getting out there, touches is going to be the biggest part, and just getting that confidence back. And that's what's the most important part in this game is just confidence with what you're doing.
The other thing I noticed as we close with Joey Munt, you strike me as being in great physical shape. I mean, it looks to me, I don't remember what you were pitching out weight-wise in 2019, for example, but are you in better shape now? It looks like it, but I can't quite remember the details.
No, absolutely. I was a big boy. I'm still a big guy, but I've leaned out for sure over just constant training with the team, and I've been here for so dang long. So, yeah, no, I'm definitely in my best shape right now. Feeling great.
And the last thing is about playing with the Knights this summer. I mean, I know for you, you got to kind of handle your situation differently than maybe some of the guys who haven't been through or you've been through. But do you like the vibe around the Knights? I know you've heard about this organization for a long time. What's it been like for you so far?
It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's a lot of work and a lot of winning, and that's what I love, and that's what we're here to do. So I love it. Yes.
So good, Joey, to see you back out there. Look forward to seeing you in the fall and next spring with the Beavers again. Thanks for taking time, and it's really good to have you back. Thanks, Joey.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Joey Munt, my guest. We've got the lineups in first pitch. It's another non-league game. The Knights and the Cascade Collegiate All-Stars coming up on this Friday, June 23rd, Strikeout Cancer Night on the home of the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio.
Back in at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field last night, I couldn't stop talking or raving about the glory of the evening. 80 degrees throughout, warm, perfect. Summer was nice while it lasted. Now, I'm not saying that it's disappeared after one full day, but we have returned to cooler conditions, windy, and a little bit on the cooler side, to be sure. I think the high got into the upper 60s today here in the Mid-Valley. But it is a beautiful night for baseball, as you can see. The sun shining, the wind blowing to left. Great place to be, Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, a non-league affair, and we're underway with Zach Johnson working on Peyton Rickard. And the first pitch missing high to the leadoff hitter for the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars. Zach's 1-0 pitch hit foul to the left and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Peyton Rickard from Kennewick and Yakima Valley College. Johnson delivers. That's foul to the left into the upper grandstand above the Jack Riley concourse. And the count to Peyton, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peyton Rickard leading off at first base for the All-Stars. Tyler Hogan in the 2-hole at short. Matthew Suave hitting third and right. Johnson's 1-2 pitch high and away, ball 2. Bryce Johnson, the cleanup hitter in DH. Brett Housel batting fifth at second base. Max Patterson hitting sixth in center field. Johnson's 2-2 pitch is fouled Waldo away over the grandstand on the left side. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Batting seventh in left field for the All-Stars, Isaac Hogue. Carson Burns hitting eighth at third base. Brock Packer batting ninth and catching. The 2-2 breaking ball misses down from Zach Johnson. And the count goes full out of the gate on this Friday night. Strikeout cancer night at the ballpark, 3-2. Zach Johnson out of the University of Portland delivers the 3-2 pitch. A little low for ball 4. That's a nice plate appearance for Peyton Rickard to open the game, working the count full and drawing ball 4. Jackson Van Eyck is the starting pitcher tonight out of Arizona Christian, getting the start for the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars. Another left-handed hitter, Tyler Hogan, steps in. He swings and fouls the first pitch away to the left. 0-1 to Tyler out of Snohomish, Earl Averill country, and competing at Edmonds Community College. No balls and a strike to Tyler. Peyton Rickard held on by Blake Avila. The strike one breaking ball fouled at the plate. Zach quickly ahead. No balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Hogan. For the Knights defensively in this non-league affair, WCL play resumes tomorrow. A battery of Zach Johnson and Anson Arrows. The strike 2 pitch, a ground ball slowly to Tyler Quinn at second. He goes to second for 1 on the force play, and that's all. Tai Yukamoto dropping the ball on the transfer. Had no shot at getting an out at first base anyway, but an out is recorded on the fielder's choice, 4-6, Tyler Quinn to Tai Yukamoto. 1 away, and Matthew Suave out of a town I've never heard of until tonight, writing his information down on my scorecard. If anyone wants to text the exact location, I know I could look it up, but the pride of Mabton, Washington. Mabton. Mabton. Matthew Suave swings and misses. Another left-handed hitter. The strike 1 pitch dropped by Anson Arrows. Not a bad-looking pitch from Zach Johnson, but Anson not able to frame it up for a home plate umpire to even the count at 1-1. Tyler Hogan at first, 1 out, a man aboard, top of the first inning, just getting started. Fastball lifted to left center field. J.C. Ing finds it and catches it, 2 down. Bryce Johnson, the designated hitter, will be the batter. For the Knights defensively, it's Johnson and Arrows, the battery. With Blake Avila at first, Tyler Quinn at second, Tai Yukamoto at short, Levi Jones at third, Ethan Hott in left, J.C. Ing in center, Kellen Siegel in right. The pitch to Bryce Johnson. Fastball for a strike from Zach Johnson, and the count 0-1. Andrew Snyder from Grays Harbor Community College, coaching at third for the All-Stars. Luke Thorson from down the road in Pleasant Hill, coaching at first. Breaking ball, a check swing tapper foul, fielded by Levi Jones near Coach Snyder. And the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Bryce Johnson. Luke Thorson from Ken Kesey country. So I have a feeling Luke got on the bus and made his way here. No balls and 2 strikes with the rest of the All-Stars drawn from the 4 teams in the CCL. Breaking ball, a check swing. I think the batter went around, going to second base and getting in safely. The Knights should have appealed the swing. And they don't. They make a throw. Does Ansoneros down to second. Safely in on a wild pitch is Tyler Hogan. The count, meanwhile, 1-2 to Bryce Johnson, who took a pretty good hack, I thought, at that breaking ball. Now the 1-2 pitch from Zach Johnson, all is well. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. Zach Johnson just brushes that off and retires the All-Stars in the first. No runs, no hits, a man left after half an inning. CCL nothing. The Knights coming up on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. The Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars failed to score, and the Knights will try to get after right-hander Jackson Van Eyck. Here in the bottom of the first inning with the following lineup. Tyler Quinn leading off at second base. Ansoneros batting second and catching. In the 3-hole at first base will be Blake Avila. The cleanup hitter in center field, J.C. Ng. Batting fifth, the DH, Jacob Craig. Levi Jones hitting sixth at third base. Kellen Siegel batting seventh in right field. Ethan Hott hitting eighth and left. Tai Yukamoto batting ninth at short. First ball swinging, Quinn a drive to right, but right at Matthew Suave. And Tyler Quinn is a study in excellent contact night after night of late with nothing to show for it. He'll take a fister, a ground ball through, a bleeder, a blue pit, a Texas leaguer for a hit soon. He keeps coming up with these really good-looking swings and line drive and good contact, but a lot of outs. One away on the strikeout cancer night at Goff Stadium at Coleman Field on one pitch. Ansoneros shows bunt, wanted to take it with him, instead takes low and inside, ball one. Ansoneros against Jackson Van Eyck out of Skagit Valley Community College. No score in the bottom of the first. The 1-0 pitch, Anson swings and fouls it straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike to Eros. Anson out of Auburn, California, and competes at the University of Oregon. Switch hitting catcher. 1 ball and 1 strike to Anson. Van Eyck to the plate and misses high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. The Knights and Kamloops for the first time ever in this ballpark tomorrow night. The 2-1 breaking ball is in there for a strike. And the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, when I say Skagit Valley, yes, but this is a hometown kid coming back home. Had a lot of flavor of that last night. Crescent Valley High School class of 21. Jackson Van Eyck with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Delivers to Arrows, who lines it into center field. Base hit. Nice looking swing by Anson. Nice and easy hack back up the middle. Greeted at first base by Coach Ed Neggs. Head coach Brooke Knight coaching at third. Blake Avila, the batter. The last we saw Blake, he crushed one about 6 rows deep into the right field bleachers. A majestic wallop here in the Knights' last home series in league play against Walla Walla. Blake Avila with 2 home runs on the season. Blake takes high and away, ball 1, 1-0. Those are the only 2 homers for the Knights in this summer of 2023. Back to league action tomorrow against Kamloops. No score, bottom of the first. Arrows held on by Peyton Rickard. Changeup hit to right and deep again. On its way again, and so long again. A 2-run home run for Blake Avila. The Knights lead it 2-0. The home run does not count in the stats officially for the West Coast League, but that's a counter, at least in our minds collectively, watching Blake Avila clobber one through a pretty good cross wind blowing from right to left. And he hit that plenty, but the wind knocked it down, and it ended up barely clearing when it appeared to be headed for the back row of the bleachers when it left his bat. But a good wallop for Blake Avila, who's homered in back-to-back games that he's played in. The 1-0 pitch, meanwhile, to J.C. Ing, misses for ball 2, 2-0. 2-0 Knights, bottom of the first inning, 2-0 to J.C. The right-hander delivers, fastball inside from Jackson Van Eyck, ball 3, 3-0. Van Eyck and Brock Packer, the battery for the All-Stars. Peyton Rickard at first, Brett Housel at second, Tyler Hogan at short, Carson Burns at third. The pitch to Ing, 3-0, is low and inside for ball 4. So a single, a 2-run homer, and a 4-pitch walk, bringing Jacob Craig from the Beavers to the plate. In the outfield for the CCL All-Stars, Isaac Hogan left, Max Patterson in center, and Matthew Suave in right. Jacob Craig stands in against Van Eyck. Jackson turns and throws to first, driving J.C. Ing back to the bag. Brooke Knight coaching at third. Loves the running game. A sidearm throw on a pickoff try again from Van Eyck over to first. J.C. back to the bag. An excellent story in The Athletic today highlighting 3 teams doing wondrous things. J.C. Ing with an aggressive jumping lead away from first provokes Van Eyck to step off the rubber. 2-0 Knights in the bottom of the first inning. Jacob Craig awaits. There goes Ing. The pitch is low and inside. The throw to second is not in time. J.C. Ing clearly showing his intent to steal a bag in this sequence. Gets it on the first pitch to the plate to Craig. 1 ball and no strikes. An article in today's editions of The Athletic on 3 teams exceeding expectations: the Cincinnati Reds, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Baltimore Orioles. The upshot of the article is they're doing so by running wild. Jacob Craig takes down and away, ball 2, 2-0, taking advantage of the new rules, pitch clock stuff, the bigger bags, stealing more bags than ever. That those 3 teams, they have other things going for them too, but they're running and running aggressively. And that has helped them rise to heights. The Reds, the Orioles, and Diamondbacks all having tremendous seasons predicated in a lot of ways on the running game and athletic baseball. And I'm sure that's music to the ears of the commissioner and the other powers that be. Craig takes a strike and the count 2-1, who have hoped to kind of stimulate some new kind of baseball. A ground ball to short. Tyler Hogan will make his only play to first base with Ng running in front of him. Good decision by JC in that even though the ball was hit in front of him, and oftentimes it would be anathema to go from second to third on that play, in this case, with one out, that helps compel him in that direction. But also, he read how slowly the ball was coming off his bat. Hogan might have had a play at third, but he only had one sure out, and he did the right thing to get the second out of the inning. Levi Jones, the batter, and Levi takes a strike from Jackson Van Eyck. So well done on the part of Hogan, the shortstop, and the runner, Ng, with the Knights leading 2-0 on a two-run home run by Blake Avila here in the bottom of the first. Van Eyck comes back to Levi. The strike one pitch lifted foul to the left and into the back row and beyond. The youngsters who brought gloves on their strikeout cancer tonight in the very back row, and a kid in a Las Vegas A's hat. Very upset that he didn't make the play. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. A single by Arrows, a 2-run homer for Blake Avila. Now Ng at third with 2 away. There's another foul ball Waldo way. And those youngsters looking longingly into the Waldo Way alley. No action as of yet tonight in Urchin Alley. A number of left-handed hitters, and they don't really get the ball into the alley from the angle they swing the bat with. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. Van Eyck delivers. Jones, a high drive to deep center, but Max Patterson has it in his sights and now in his glove to retire the side. However, the Knights get a single from Manzaneros and a 2-run homer from Blake Avila. And after 1 inning on this Friday night strikeout cancer night of the ballpark, the Knights 2 and the CCL All-Stars nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Two to nothing, the Knights in front as we go to the top of the second inning. Right-hander Zach Johnson delivering a first pitch strike. The 0-1 pitch to Brett Housel, belted to left field and gone. Brett Housel leaves the house. A home run to left over Ethan Hott's head. Ethan went as far as he could back to the 14-foot fence, but watched it sail out of the ballpark. So a great swing for Brett Housel. And just like that, the Knights' lead is cut in half. Brett out of Mesa Community College with a long drive over the left field fence to cut it to 2-1. Now Max Patterson out of Everett Community College, the batter. Patterson with 1 T, shades of Joe. The pitch to Max from Zach, breaking ball strike, and the count 0-1. 2-1 Knights, top of the second inning. So we've seen 2 home runs tonight on a night where we've been celebrating in talking about the Reds, the Diamondbacks, and the Orioles in the shorter game and the smaller game, and not necessarily the three true outcomes game. The strike two pitch flailed out and missed, strike three by Patterson. So a nice recovery by Zach Johnson. His first pitch of the inning launched over the left field fence. His next three result in a strikeout of Max Patterson and Isaac Hogue, the batter. Hogue out of Everett Community College, one of the feeder teams of the Cascade Collegiate League. But as I said, along the way, we'll mention a number of others tonight. Isaac takes low and in, ball one, 1-0. The 1-0 fastball in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. Nick Krupke is here tonight. Brett Taylor from KZI honoring Jen Bowman, a comebacker fielded by Zach Johnson. He throws a little leafus pitch over to first to get Isaac Hogue. Quickly two down, and Carson Burns, the batter, quickly after the long home run by Brett Housel to open the inning. Carson Burns, the batter. But television crews in the ballpark tonight interviewing Dan Siegel, Brooke Knight. Nick was just up here visiting with me about Jen's amazing life. Jen Bowman, the general manager of the Knights, listening to the live stream, but her heart and soul never far from this organization, this team, which I know has meant so much to her, and the fight that she's had, the courageous fight she continues to engage in with the stage 3 lung cancer she was diagnosed with 3 years ago. A ground ball wide of third, off the glove of Levi Jones and into left field for a base hit. Brock Packer, the batter, the right-hand hitting catcher. 2-1 Knights in the second. But Jen, I hope that we can't even begin. The features that the television stations are doing in your honor won't even begin to touch the impact you've had on so many in your communities. Your loving husband, Aaron. Jen was given a diagnosis in May of 2020, and the prognosis was 13 to 24 months. Well, she's on month 37 and still fighting. The strike one pitch, a ground ball into right field for a base hit. Carson Burns takes a turn. He'll hold at second with Kellen Siegel getting the ball back in. An interesting inning for Zach Johnson. His first pitch was hit over the left field fence. He came back to strike out Max Patterson, induce a comeback from Isaac Hogue, and now with two down, back-to-back base hits, puts runners at first and second for Peyton Rickard, who comes to the plate with a tying run at second and two down. Rickard drew a walk last inning. He looks at a breaking ball for a strike. 2-1 Knights in the top of the second. So, Jen, I hope that you'll be able to see the tributes that are being poured out your way on the various television stations which have come to the ballpark tonight. A ground ball to third. Levi Jones will run it to the bag himself for the force on Burns, and that ends the inning. But Brett Housel hits one out, and the Knights' lead has been cut in half. We go to the bottom of the second. The Knights 2 and the CCL All-Stars 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Kellen Siegel, Ethan Hott, and Tai Yukamoto coming up for the Corvallis Knights in the bottom of the second inning. The Knights leading by a score of 2-1. A standing ovation being given right now after video tribute with a photo montage up on the big board in right field for Jen. It's beautiful. I hope that the live stream camera was able to pick that up. I don't have a monitor, so I don't know, but a great ovation from the Knights fans here tonight, Jen, on your behalf. Kellen Siegel steps in against Jackson Van Eyck. And the first pitch to Kellen off the mitt of Brock Packer to the backstop. One ball and no strikes to Kellen. Breaking ball from Van Eyck misses a bit high. Ball 2-0. Kellen Siegel, a big ball game last night, 3 RBIs, and the Knights 18-0 non-league win over the Girding Builders Market Men. Kellen takes the 2-0 pitch for a strike. Kellen's father, Dan, is just to my right, about 15-20 feet, visiting with Nick Krupke and Dan and Bree and the rest of the Knights staff as Siegel turns on one and hooks it foul down the left field line, heading for the TNT Builders party deck, helping to put together this night in tribute to our dear friend Jen Bowman. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Kellen Siegel. With the Knights leading 2-1, Kamloops in tomorrow night with West Coast League action resuming. 2-2 to Kellen Siegel. Jackson Van Eyck from the stretch delivers, and Siegel does too. A line drive, base hit to right field. Suave over to get it. Siegel digging for 2 and will get there with a head-first slide. A proud papa, Dan Siegel, to my right, as Kellen drives a double into the right field corner. And that's the type of thing that the article in The Athletic that I've referenced a couple of times tonight was referring to, not just stolen bases, but aggressive base running. Picking up the extra 90 feet whenever possible. And the Diamondbacks, Reds, and Orioles in their years of resurgence are doing that kind of thing. It's not just stolen bases. It's the type of thing we just saw exampled here by Kellen Siegel. He hit the line drive to right, and as soon as he left the box, he was thinking too. Ethan Hott takes down and away. As a man thinketh in his heart, well, so his legs got him there. 2-1 Knights, the 1-0 pitch, just inside, almost hit Ethan Hott. 2 balls and no strikes to count. The translation of that ancient saying, one of them, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You could probably find many variations out of the Hebrew on what it means. That's my favorite. Whether it's true or not fully in that sense, I don't know, because oftentimes it is all a matter of translation. The 2-0 pitch missing for ball 3 and interpretation, et cetera, et cetera. I know. Siegel's going to third. He will go without a play. The 3-0 breaking ball, a strike to Ethan Hott, and the count 3-1. Siegel, a leg double and a stolen base. He's at third with nobody out. But that's a pretty good saying in the overall scheme of sayings. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The 3-1 pitch is down and away for ball 4, and that's not in any wise meant to be doctrinaire or anything else, just uttering an ancient saying that I've always sort of liked. You can bring up many other translations for me. Please do. I think it's 23-7, right? Just thinking off, it's been a long time since I've read it, but today is the 23rd, so I probably should have read it. Now the batter is Tai Yukamoto. Runners at first and third, nobody out. The All-Stars infield at double play depth. Jackson Van Eyck out of the stretch. The pitch on the way, down and away. Now a delayed break by Ethan Hott to draw the throw. He does, but no movement from Siegel at third. Kellen stays put, and Ethan Hott safely into second with a stolen base. 1 ball and no strikes to tie Yukamoto. 2-1 Knights. The infield halfway for the All-Stars. Out of the stretch works the local kid, Van Eyck, class of 21 from CV. Misses high and away, ball 2-0. The 2-0 pitch change, fouled at the plate. Good pitch, Yukamoto getting a little piece of it. 2 balls and a strike with Tyler Quinn on deck. A cool, sort of breezy Friday night here, and it looks like we're in for a stretch along these lines. So that one day yesterday, as I said, was pretty fun. Breaking ball pulled foul down the right field line in the corner. The count even up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Upper 80s and warm throughout the evening last night. I hope it's not quite akin to the Orlando Bloom once every 10 years experience. A nice night last night. The 2-2 pitch, fastball away, ball 3. 3-2. Kellen Siegel at third, Ethan Hott at second. 3 balls and 2 strikes to tie Yukamoto. The 3-2 pitch is in the turf, off speed for ball 4 to load him up. And that'll bring to the plate Tyler Quinn, who has been hitting line drive after line drive right at people. And before Tyler takes his hacks, we'll see a visit from one of the coaches. I'm not sure which one this is, to be honest with you. In trying to get the information as quickly as I could before the game, Andrew Snyder from Grays Harbor Community College, I believe, is acting as the head coach. But this isn't the guy I talked to. Luke Thorson out of Pleasant Hill, went to Thurston High School coaching at first base. That's not him either. So this coach, it's my apologies. I'm not sure that I got this coach's name, but he's made a trip out to visit with with his starter Jackson Van Eyck, who has given up a double and 2 walks in the inning, and now deals with Tyler Quinn, who lined to right field last inning. We're in the second, 2-1 Knights, with the bases loaded and nobody out. Van Eyck comes set, delivers a line drive, and he finds a hole. Good for him, a base hit to right field. Siegel scores, Ethan Hott will score. Going into third base is Ty Yukamoto, and Quinn into second with a double. The Knights lead it 4-1. Well, there's no guarantees in life that just because, that you're hitting the ball hard time after time with nothing to show for it, it's going to work out sometime. I know life doesn't quite work that way, but in this case it does. The continual good swings from Tyler Quinn, I suppose it is true that it was bound to, one of them was going to find a hole, and this one, a hard line drive in front of Matthew Suave. Anson Arrows the batter. Anson takes outside, ball 1, 1-0. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the second inning. Runners at second and third and nobody out. Jackson Van Eyck comes set. I don't see anyone throwing back of him. Breaking ball fouled at the plate. 1 ball and the Blake Avila 2-run home run. Blake on deck. And the Knights have already plated 2 here in the inning with nobody out. Second and third. Jackson Van Eyck with his infield back comes to the plate. A ground ball foul outside of third and down the line. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Anson. Anson Arrows has his bat retrieved for him by Brock Packer. Brock out of Lane Community College. And Anson Arrows from Oregon. These two perhaps know one another, have worked out together. One would think that their proximity might create a situation for them to get to know each other. Ground ball by the mound. This will score a run. Second baseman Brett Housel then slips as he throws and throws it above his own dugout into the netting. Looked like he got a cleat caught in the field turf as he planted to make a throw. And so 2-run score on the play. And into second base goes Anson Arrows, who picks up the RBI. Mike Corwin is the base umpire. The Knights lead it 6-1 with Tai Yukamoto coming down the line to score, and then Tyler Quinn awarded the plate on the throw into the netting on the ground rule. Arrows at second base, a 2-base error. 6-1 Knights. Blake Avila the batter. And the pitch on the way to Blake is in there for a strike. Blake crushed a 2-run home run last inning. No balls and a strike. The Knights scoring 18 runs against the Market Men last night, 11 in their last ball game against Walla Walla. Have 6 already in 2 innings tonight. Avila takes a fastball up and away to even the count. And 1 ball and 1 strike. 6-1 Knights in the bottom of the second inning. Van Eyck comes set. And the right-hander back to the plate. Breaking ball misses down. Ball 2, 2-1. Nip Krupke from Fox Channel 12 in Portland. So they're coming from everywhere, as the saying goes. 2 balls and a strike. Brett Taylor again back from KEZI in Eugene. The 2-1 pitch, a ground ball to the right of Housel. He slides into it, throws to first, not in time. Racing around third and coming to the plate and getting tagged out is Anson Arrows, trying to take the CCL All-Stars by surprise, rounding third and trying to score, but CCL does a nice job to communicate. Avila is aboard on the infield single, but Arrows makes the first out of the inning at the plate on the putout 4-3-2. 1 gone, and the batter is J.C. Ng. 6-1 Knights in the bottom of the second. Avila has homered and singled in his first 2 innings. Van Eyck from the stretch delivers, and the breaking ball misses down and in to J.C. Ball 1, 1-0. Van Eyck from Arizona Christian. You've got ball players on this roster from Central Baptist, Whitman College, Wenatchee Valley Community College, Pierce Community College, Blue Mountain Community College, Yakima Valley, Everett Community College, Lane, Northwestern Oklahoma, Emory and Henry College, Skagit Valley, College of Southern Idaho, Mesa, Edmonds. Fastball up and away. Sounds like a combination of Hank Snow, I've been everywhere, and there ain't no easy run, Dave Dudley. USC Upstate. And there's more. Feeding not this roster per se, but the other teams. There's 4 teams total in the CCL. 2 balls and no strikes to J.C. Ng. The pitch is in there for a strike, and the count 2-1. Paradise Valley Community College, Ottawa University, Central Washington, NYU. Yes, there's a player on one of the teams from New York University, Vanguard, LB. Emmanuel College, Walsh University, St. John's. The 2-1 pitch to Ng, a ground ball to Housel. He goes to Hogan for 1. The throw back to first is not in time. Ng aboard on the fielder's choice, 4-6, 2 down. He just didn't hit it hard enough for a double play to be possible with Ng's speed. Now Jacob Craig, the batter. Jacob grounded to short. Emory and Henry, Shasta College, Clackamas Community College, Hardin Simmons, Big Bend Community College, Simpson University, Roosevelt University, Barstow Community College, Walsh University, Adams State. Many of these I quite honestly have never heard of, but they feed the CCL, and the All-Star teams are drawn, this All-Star team, from all of those various schools that have sent people to the league. Jacob Craig takes high and inside, ball 1 from Jackson Van Eyck, with the Knights leading 6-1 in the bottom of the second. How much are tickets for the raffle? Okay, the pitch on the way is a strike, and the count 1-1. So did you say 20? How? Okay, how much? Okay, I got to stay with my broadcaster. Hang on just a second. We'll talk about it during the break. Craig takes a breaking ball away, in the count 2-1. Raffle tickets being sold tonight on behalf of the Strikeout Cancer Night and kicking with a G, kicking-cancer.org, the website, and we have people going throughout the stands for a 50-50 raffle this evening as part of the effort. Jacob Craig takes a breaking ball strike in the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 4 in the bottom of the second. 6-1 Corvallis. Craig grounded to short in his first at-bat. Jackson Van Eyck looks at first base where Blake Avila gets his lead. The 2-2 pitch to Craig is high, ball 3, 3-2. J.C. Ing, pardon me, the runner at first. He'll be off on the pitch, 3-2 with 2 down. He goes. The payoff pitch to Craig is outside for ball 4. I don't want to keep you guys from your work. Come back over. Come on over here. So I need some change on that. I can't. I need it tonight. Sorry. So tell me what your low end price. Okay, let me go. I'll just take one then for 5. Sorry about that. I gave it. I did give it the office earlier today and last night. I try to contribute to the this is a good one, but I appreciate it. Okay, thank you. The pitch on the way to Levi Jones, hit foul off third, out of play. No balls and a strike. Levi flied out to center field in the first. 2 on and 2 out. And the 50-50 raffle tickets being sold throughout the ballpark. And the young man, I said wait till the end of the half inning, but they need to continue their work. I understand. The strike 1 pitch, Jones, ground ball caught by Jackson Van Eyck, spearing it and tossing to first for the final out. The Knights bat around in the inning and score 4. And at the end of 2, the Knights 6 and the All-Stars 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Zach Johnson to work on Tyler Hogan and misses high with the Knights leading 6-1 in the top of the third inning. The 1-0 pitch is high again, ball 2 from Zach. Tyler Hogan bounced into a force play in the first inning. The 2-0 pitch on the way, a 2-hopper towards Knight shortstop Tai Yukamoto. He fields and throws to first for the out. Blake Avila on the receiving end, 1 away in the third, and the batter is Matthew Suave. My sincere apologies in the midst of life. I know and that our dear friend being honored tonight is Jen Beaumont. I somehow have transposed that at times this evening, I'm told. My apologies, dear sweet Jen. I know if anyone would ever have it in their hearts to forgive, it's you. But if I've said Bowman a few times, my apologies. I know who you are. The pitch on the way is a line drive into left field for a base hit. Jen Beaumont, our featured battler and fighter, and the mantra of courage that is her mantra. And so many who fight the diagnosis and then the subsequent treatment and all of the things that go with cancer. Jen Beaumont has been a tremendous exemplum throughout her long and courageous fight. And she continues to as she listens and watches tonight. And again, my apologies if I slipped a Bowman in there. Jen and Aaron Beaumont and their wonderful dogs, Wyatt Earp and Jesse James Beaumont, listening and watching together tonight. So my apologies. Thank you, Bree. If I slipped into the incorrect pronunciation, it's on me, and I apologize. Bryce Johnson, the batter, the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Johnson delivers. Bryce swings and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. With the Knights leading 6-1 in the top of the 3rd inning on a cool night at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. Bryce Johnson has struck out twice, and both times elevated fastballs that he's not been able to make contact with. Brett Housel made good contact last inning. The first pitch that he saw from Zach Johnson, he lofted over the left field fence, the 14-foot fence, in straightaway left field. Fastball outside, ball 1. 330 down both lines at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. 365 to the alleys, 400 feet to straightaway center. The 1-0 pitch is hit to straightaway center and pretty deep. Backpedaling, still backpedaling is J.C. Ing to make the catch. That ball was well struck by Housel. This time, though, a long out after leaving the yard last inning. For the All-Stars in the 3rd, no runs, a hit, 1 left. After 2.5, the Knights 6. And the CCL All-Stars 1 on the Knights live stream in 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Kellen Siegel leading things off for the Corvallis Knights. Not quite as fast as Ellie De La Cruz when he doubled in his last at-bat, but he showed some speed with the leg double to open the Knights' 2nd inning. A leg double, stole 3rd, scored the first of 4 runs. He takes outside from Jackson Van Eyck. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. 1-1 the count to Kellen, who will be followed by Ethan Hott and then Tai Yukamoto. Bottom of the 3rd, 6-1 Knights. Van Eyck has gone all the way. The local kid comes back over the top, and Siegel whacks it to left field. Base hit. Isaac Hogue plays it on a hop. Kellen Siegel continues his hot hitting. He's 2 for 2. Doubled last inning to lead things off. Singles here in the third. Ethan Hott, who drew a walk and scored last inning, will come to the plate. Ellie De La Cruz, by the way, and just talking about the Reds and their exciting style of play, is maybe the most exciting player in the game. The other day, he hit a routine ground ball to first and beat it out. He may hit a ground ball back of the bag at first. I don't know against which club, but the first baseman took the ball and wasn't lollygagging. He tried to run the ball to the bag at first. The pitcher didn't even come over, no need to. The first pitch to Ethan Hott, missing down and away. Ball one, the 1-0 pitch, misses again. 2-0 the count. And Cruz just raced and beat the first baseman of the bag. A head-first dive and got in with the hand. And it was just a blaze, a blur of speed down the line. The fastest player in the game right now, and maybe the fastest ever, Ellie De La Cruz. The 2-0 pitch inside, glancing off the mitt of catcher Brock Packer. 2-1 the count. All three general managers interviewed for that story all were honest enough to say that they didn't know that the rules were going to be changing, that the stolen base was going to be coming back with bigger bags and less throws over to first, etc. The 3-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 3-1 to Hott, but they did talk, all three, about wanting to get more athletic. The Reds, in particular, in building their farm system, were looking for fast, athletic players who could impact the game more than just walking and hitting home runs. There goes Kellen Siegel. The 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and Kellen impacts the game by just getting a good read, a good jump, and he walks into second. Goes in standing up. 3-2, meanwhile, to Ethan Hott. And that's all good news to hear about the great game of baseball. Reviving again the emphasis on speed in the running game. The 3-2 pitch to Hott misses outside for ball 4. Tai Yukamoto, who drew a walk last inning, will come to the plate. So I know that I have long fallen upon the name of Bake McBride when talking about fast players, because when I was impressionable, thinking about fast players in the game, Bake McBride was one that was the fastest. I'm going to go Ellie De La Cruz henceforth. Tai Yukamoto looks at a breaking ball strike, and the count 0-1, but certainly one of the more compelling, dynamic athletes on our scene in all sports right now. 6-1 Knights, bottom of the third. The strike one pitch with Yukamoto bunting. A beautiful bunt coming off the mound is Van Eyck. The catcher also comes off. Fields, Brock Packer throws too late. A bunt single for Yukamoto, and everybody's safe. Van Eyck came off the mound. Packer got to the ball, threw to first, but not nearly in time. So the Knights have loaded the bases with nobody out. Kellen Siegel at third, Ethan Hott at second, a bunt single for Tai Yukamoto. He's at first. Tyler Quinn, the batter, bases loaded, nobody out. 6-1 Knights looking to add on. A ground ball to the right of the shortstop, Hogan. He goes to Housel for a force at second, and that's all. And another run comes in to score. An RBI fielder's choice, 6-4 for Tyler Quinn, with Kellen Siegel coming down the line to make it 7-1 Knights. And Anson Arrows will be the batter. Arrows has singled and had an RBI ground out on the throwing error last inning by Brett Housel. 7-1 Knights, bottom of the third. Van Eyck delivers, slap foul to the left and out of play. 0-1 to Anson Arrows. Ethan Hott at third. Tyler Quinn at first with one out. No balls and one strike. Jackson Van Eyck set. And the 0-1 pitch on the way. That slap foul again, walled away in the count 0-2. Jen Beaumont, the general manager of the Knights, ran the concessions operations in 21 and 22 and did such a great job with that, and worked hard to set everything up for this 2023 season, all the way here to the last, even going into the start of this season. The pitch on the way goes off the mitt of Brock Packer, off his mitt towards the Knights on deck area. Ethan Hott comes down the line to score on the wild pitch, and good base running by Tyler Quinn. He goes all the way to third. The Knights lead it 8-1 on the wild pitch. And now Anson Arrows with an opportunity to pick up an RBI with an out on good base running by the Knights. Arrows with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swings and hits a ground ball to the right, fielded by Peyton Rickard. Coming down the line to score is Tyler Quinn, as Rickard runs into the bag at first. Another run batted in for Arrows, and the Knights lead it 9-1. Scoring 3 more here in the inning. 2 down, and Blake Avila, who's blasted a 2-run home run and had an infield single, comes to the plate against Jackson Van Eyck. 9-1 Knights in the bottom of the 3rd inning on this breezy, cool, but bright Friday evening. The big trees beyond the left field fence really blowing in the wind. That's how blustery it is tonight. Blake Avila takes high and away, ball 1, 1-0. The Knights 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 here in the third. The 1-0 pitch rocks the left-hand hitting Avila back on his heels out of the box. Ball 2, 2-0. JC on his home run against Walla Walla had a pretty demonstrative bat flip. The 2-0 pitch taken for a strike, and not sure exactly how Brooke and the coaches received that. I'm not sure that they were applauding the gesture, and I noticed this time when Blake homered, he just dropped the bat and rounded the bases. The 2-1 pitch is outside to Blake for ball 3, 3-1. But that is another way in which the game has changed, and whether, for the better, I think a lot of people think so. Ball players with fanciful and exuberant celebrations. The 3-1 pitch to Blake is outside for ball 4. Blake trots down to first, drawing the walk from Van Eyck. J.C. Ing, the hitter. I've been a little ambivalent about it. I've always felt that there was an element of showing the other guy up, but it could also be viewed certainly in the light of, no, it's not showing anybody up. It's celebrating with your guys, your teammates, giving the fans something to be excited about. It's not meant to be an insult to the other guy. J.C. Ing whacks one into left field. Blake Avila will go to third. A long single for J.C. into left. The Knights have runners at the corners and 2 outs, and Jacob Craig will be the hitter. I do know that one of the more impressive home run gates in the history of the game was none other than that of number 7, the Mickey Mantle. Wallop 536. And on almost all of them, I didn't see them all, but the videos I've seen, and plenty of them in the World Series, the all-time home run leader in World Series play. Jacob Craig at the plate, 2 on and 2 out. Craig takes outside, ball 1. The Mick, even with the leg issues, the leg problems, got around those bases in a hurry. Kind of lowered his head and ran almost as hard as he could. The 1-0 pitch to Craig, down and away, ball 2, 2-0. A little faster than, let's say, Dave Parker. First and third, 2 down, bottom of the third, 9-1 Knights. Van Eyck delivers. Craig takes inside for ball 3, 3-0. Jacob will be green lighted here, one would think. 3-0 the count to Big Jacob. Van Eyck delivers, and Craig looked hitterish, but he takes a strike. The count 3-1. Levi Jones on deck. The Knights batted around last inning and scored 4. Craig is the 8th man to come to the plate here in this inning. The Knights have scored 3. The 3-1 pitch is ball 4. So for the second straight inning, the Knights do bring 9 men to the plate. Levi Jones will be the batter. Levi made the final out last inning on a comebacker. He's 0 for 2. Bases loaded and 2 down on this strikeout cancer night presented by Pioneer Connect. Levi swings and pulls one foul outside of third and down the line, first base I should say, and down the line. We appreciate all of our sponsors and all of the stolen bases tonight. Again, thanks to Papay Material Handling, and the Knights have teamed up in support with All Pro Property Services in support of Community Outreach, Inc. Every stolen base means a contribution to COI, Community Outreach, Inc. Thanks to Papay Material Handling, All Pro Property Services, and the Corvallis Knights. The pitch to Levi misses away, ball 1. Blake Avila at third, J.C. Ing at second, Jacob Craig at first, 2 down. The 1-1 pitch, Levi takes a strike. The count 1-2. Levi will participate in the Oregon All-Star Series this weekend. 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 11 a.m. on Sunday. The 6A and 5A players here at Goss. The 1-2 pitch to Levi taken, strike 3 called to retire the side. But the Knights score 3 more, and we go to the 4th. On the strikeout cancer night, the Knights 9 and CCL 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 9 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. The CCL All-Stars 1 run, 4 hits, and 2 errors. Right-hander Zach Johnson misses to Max Patterson down and away. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. Max struck out against Zach in the second inning. We're in the 4th, 9-1 Knights. Johnson back to the plate, swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. Zach Johnson and Anson Arrows, the battery for the Knights. Blake Avila at first, Tyler Quinn at second, Ty Yukamoto at short, and Levi Jones at third. The 1-2 pitch just missed, and the count 2-2. In the outfield for the Knights, Ethan Hott in left, J.C. Ing in center, Kellen Siegel in right. The 2-2 pitch just misses for ball 3, 3-2. Little girl looking like Cindy Lou Who walking through the stands, fell down hard on the metal bleachers, gets up with a big smile on her face. Good for her. The 3-2 pitch, fastball fouled at the plate, and the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, I heard the tumble in the fall, and that can often elicit more than just a smile. Tough kid. 3-2 to Max Patterson. Zach Johnson's 3-2 pitch, a check swing tapper foul, and our first action in the alley tonight. Urchin Alley. And there are urchins out there giving chase. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Max Patterson. Zach Johnson delivers, and Peterson sends another one that way. Off the facade of Dixon Rec, bounding down into the alley. 3-2 to Max Patterson. Zach Johnson, the right-hander, comes back with a 3-2 fastball. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Good job. Johnson's fast one tonight has had kind of a riding up and in action on the right-handed hitters. He's gotten Max Patterson twice on strikeouts and Bryce Johnson twice for his 4 strikeouts in the ballgame. Isaac Hogue, left-handed hitter at the plate. Isaac takes a little low, ball 1, 1-0. Zach ready and comes back with a 1-0 fastball. That's up, ball 2. If your home, office, or investment property is dingy, dirty, or worn, we recommend All Pro Property Services. They're family-owned, and they've helped thousands of companies, investors, and people get the best out of their properties. The 2-0 pitch, missing to Isaac for ball 3, 3-0. Johnson delivers low for ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Hogue. Carson Burns will come to the plate. From investment, renovations, facility services, housekeeping, and move-out cleans, All Pro Property Services has the bases covered. Visit allproproperty.net for more information. That 4-pitch walk provokes a visit by Anson Arrows out to his battery mate, Zach Johnson. Carson Burns, who had an infield single off the glove of the ranging Levi Jones, the third baseman, the ball glancing off the webbing of Levi's glove in the second inning, steps in and looks at a breaking ball strike. 0-1 the count. Carson Burns out of Everett Community College. Johnson delivers. The strike 1 pitch fouled off the mask of Anson Arrows and to the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes. Zach ready, the righty to the plate. Swung on and fouled at the plate. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Carson Burns going to Everett. He's from Bothell. Right-hand hitter awaits the 0-2 pitch. Check swing and a breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Knights winning big last night, 18-0 over the Marketmen, and lead this one 9-1. Back to West Coast League action tomorrow with Kamloops in for the first time. Good to have Kamloops in the league, and look forward to the first trip by Kamloops here. The Knights did play a series up north. The pitch on the way rolled foul, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tonight it's another non-league affair, the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars. A throw to first base. Isaac Hogue steps back. Tomorrow, always a very popular night. Kids dash for cash. Breaking ball misses. A late break by Hogue. The throw to second is not in time. A wild pitch allows Isaac to pick up 90 feet, and Zach Johnson's got to be a little careful here. He walked Hogue on 4 pitches, jumped ahead of Carson Burns 0-2 and is now 3-2 on Carson. Brock Packer on deck. Zach Reddy delivers. Strike 3 called. Nice recovery. 2 down. Brock Packer will be the hitter. Tomorrow's Kids Dash for Cash is presented by Papa's Pizza and the State Farm agents of Corvallis and Philomath. Brock Packer single to right field in his first at-bat. Isaac Hogue at second, 2 down. Zach Johnson from the stretch and now steps off the rubber. Zach peering in, and the right-hander ready to go now to Packer. And Johnson misses low, ball 1, 1-0. The Kamloops Northpaws making their first trip in tomorrow. The Knights will then host Springfield on Tuesday. A bluff to second base by Zach Johnson, no one breaking to cover, and a pitch clock violation on Zach Johnson, I assume, or a warning. The count is one ball and 1 strike, so perhaps it was called against the hitter. The umpire pointed at the hitter, Brock Packer. The 1-1 pitch on the way, fastball on the outside corner, and now the count 1-2. No, it's 2-1, pardon me. So, the pitch clock violation was against Zach Johnson, but the scoreboard operator put up a strike because the umpire appeared to point at the hitter. And now the 2-1 pitch is waved at and missed, and that evens the count at 2-2. We are all still trying to adjust and get used to what some of the new signals in the game of baseball actually mean, and just how the rules, there's no clock or timer in any of the West Coast League parks, but the umpires keep it on their own. Whatever the case, it's a great fastball, 2-2 on Packer. Swung on, foul tipped, and held for strike 3, and Zach Johnson strikes out the side here in the 4th. No runs, no hits, a man left at the end of 3.5. The Knights 9 and the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. How soon? Huh? Bottom of the 4th inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Corvallis Knights with a commanding 9-1 lead over the Cascade Collegiate All-Stars. Tyler Dish takes over on the bump for the CCL All-Stars. for Jackson Van Eyck. Tyler is loosening up with his battery mate Brock Packer. And getting ready to face Kellen Siegel, leading off for the third straight time tonight. Kellen will be followed by Ethan Hott and then Tai Yukamoto. Casey Wee, Sean's father, asking me between innings what I thought of the Blazers draft. And I just had to say, quite honestly, to Casey, haven't thought about it much. Other than to say I have been amused driving around today listening to Sports Talk Radio, how everybody seems to be experts on Scoot Henderson's game. Now, I'm not. I've never seen a moment of his play, and I've not read any scouting reports on him. He sounds like a talented 6'2", 6'3"-ish pass-first point guard who's not a particularly good shooter. That last, I'm not real thrilled if that's the case, but I do like the idea that he's got a true point guard mentality. So there, Casey, thanks for asking, but that's about the most all day today I've thought about what the Blazers did in the draft. And we carry on here in the bottom of the fourth, 9-1 Knights. I just got to say, though, none of it seems particularly inspiring. The strike one pitch to Kellen Siegel swung on and fouled back with the year by year, so many years now, the Damian Lillard window, and it closing. You got to build something. Do you build around him? Do you trade him? Can you get him some help? And it doesn't feel like a step in that direction was taken last night. Siegel hits a two-hopper to short. Tyler Hogan fields and throws to first. Kellen, who had doubled in the second and singled last inning and scored in both frames, grounds out here in the fourth against Tyler Dish. One away, and Ethan Hott, who has walked twice and scored twice, will step in. Now, with due respect to all of the talking heads on all of the shows, both local and national, they do their homework. They do give it plenty of thought. They do know a heck of a lot more than I do. But, Casey, thank you for asking. Ethan Hott swings and hits one toward the gap into right center. It'll get down for an extra base hit. Max Patterson chases it down, but Ethan Hott cruises into second with a one-out double to right center field. And that'll bring Tai Yukamoto to the plate. Tai has walked and scored and had a bunt single. 9-1 Knights, bottom of the fourth inning. Ethan Hott getting the Knights' 10th hit of the night. Tyler Dish in his first inning of work. Rocks into the set position, delivers a fastball outside. Ball one to Yukamoto. 1 ball and no strikes. Hott gets his lead from second. Nice piece of hitting behind the ball and driving it with some authority to the gap in right center. The pitch to Yukamoto hit foul into the upper grandstand. Above the Riley Concourse as the temperatures continue to drop, the breezes blowing out towards left center field. 1 ball and 1 strike to Yukamoto. Breaking ball from Dish misses high and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Ethan Hott getting his lead again as Yukamoto swings and it's 1 foul. Waldo away. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. The Kamloops Northpaws tomorrow night. Remember, it's a later start due to the Oregon All-Star Series. That ball game at 3 o'clock tomorrow. The 2-2 pitch missing for ball 3, 3-2. A 7:05 start tomorrow night. 6:50 pregame show. Then 5:05 on Sunday. Back to 6:35 come Monday. Tyler Dish ready, the 3-2 pitch. Slap foul again by Tai Yukamoto to stay up there. 3-2 the count. The Knights scoring 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 last inning. Have an opportunity here in the fourth with the one-out double from Ethan Hott. Tai Yukamoto looking for the run batted in. Dish comes back to the plate, breaking ball high, ball 4. Ty trots down to first. Tyler Quinn will be the batter. First Alternative Co-op is your community-owned grocery store providing fresh, local, and organic groceries since 1970. The Co-op makes it easy for you and your family to buy local and eat healthy. Don't forget to stop by their deli and enjoy fresh brewed coffee, house-made pastries, a delicious salad, and much, much more. Everyone is welcome at the First Alternative Co-op, again, since 1970. Tyler Quinn misses high and away, ball 1. 70 was the transcendent year for the great Johnny Bench. His best year, hit 45 that year. I believe hit 45, 120 or 30 RBIs in that range. The 1-0 pitch outside for ball 2. There was a documentary on the Mick, whom we were talking about earlier, the Commerce Comic, Commerce, Oklahoma. And Johnny said he was inspired growing up as a kid by a guy from Oklahoma can play in the big leagues. A check swing by Tyler Quinn, tap foul at the plate, and the count 2-1. Johnny Bench also hailing from Oklahoma, and because he heard so much about the Oklahoma kid, the great Mickey Mantle, the Commerce Comet, Johnny said to his dad, I want to be one of those guys too. And boy, was he ever, the greatest catcher the game's ever known. A throw to second to Brett Housel, and if they execute, they're going to get Ethan Hott between second and third. Hott stays in the rundown a while, but is finally tagged out for the second out of the inning. Good move. And the ball between second and third results in the shortstop, Tyler Hogan, with the tag out. The play began to Brett Housel breaking into cover at second. Ethan Hott picked off. 2 down. Ty Yukamoto still at first with Tyler Quinn at the plate, and a count of 2-1. Fastball swung on and missed, and that evens the count at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. Tyler Dish to the plate. Quinn, a high pop-up towards the alley. Look out, urchins, look out. That ball lands just a few feet from about 6 or 7 of them. Had no idea the ball was coming in. I tried to give him a little bit of warning. The ball landed on the concrete just a few feet from where they were playing. One of them has a baseball. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. Yukamoto at first. The 2-2 pitch. Pop foul down the right field line. A long run for Peyton Rickard. He will watch this one carry into the stands as well and bounce above the concourse and up into the bleachers of the Omaha Room. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. I'm going to have to look up during the 90-second break how many RBIs Johnny did have in his greatest year. 1970, the year the First Alternative Co-op opened. Next time you go into the First Alternative Co-op, think about Johnny Bench. It will enhance your shopping experience, I'm sure. The 2-2 pitch is high, ball 3, 3-2 to Tyler Quinn. 9-1 Knights, bottom of the 4th inning. Wind blowing hard now to left center. The 3-2 pitch swung on and fouled at the plate. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tai Yukamoto is still being held on at first by Peyton Rickard. Yukamoto will be off and running with the pitch again. From the stretch, Tyler Dish comes to the plate, 3-2, and the breaking ball is low for ball 4. Anson Arrows will be the hitter. 2 walks in the inning. Dish, though, helped himself out with a pickoff play. Arrows has singled and had RBIs in his last 2 at-bats. So the Knights with runners at first and second and 2 down for Arrows. Fastball swung on and missed by Anson. No balls and 1 strike. Two on and 2 out. The Knights have scored in each inning, trying to keep that going. And now they will have the bases loaded because Arrows is hit by the pitch. And that brings Blake Avila to the plate with the sacks full. Arrows seems no worse for wear. He trots down to first. Pretty good pace, actually, getting down the line. He's fine. And with the bases loaded and 2 down, Blake Avila, who drilled a 2-run home run to right in the first, had an infield single in the second, walked in the third, comes to the plate here in the fourth. His 4th plate appearance. The sack's full and 2 down. Tyler Dish to the plate. And the first pitch runs outside. Ball 1, 1-0 to Blake Avila. One ball and no strikes the count. Avila, strong left-handed hitter. Swings and fouls one back, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 to Blake with the bases loaded and 2 down. Dish delivers, and the breaking ball in there for a strike. The count 1-2. Ty Yukamoto at third, Tyler Quinn at second, Anson Arrows at first, all there via free passes. 2 walks and a hit batter. Now the 1-2 pitch to Avila is pulled sharply. A diving attempt by Rickard, deflected to the second baseman. The throw to first bounces off of Avila. 1 run is in, another run will score. The ball chased down into right field by Brett Housel. And the Knights lead it 11-1. With Blake Avila picking up another run batted in on the base hit. So he has 3 hits on the night, and he goes into second after getting hit in the back on the throw. The ill-advised throw by Housel, the 3rd error of the night for the CCL All-Stars. There was no chance to get Avila at first. Housel should have saved the throw, trying to get the ball to the pitcher, Tyler Dish, covering. A good effort diving by Peyton Rickard to his right, deflecting the ball to Housel. Housel's throw to first to Dish ended up hitting Avila in the back. So Yukamoto and Quinn score. Arrows goes to third. Blake Avila into second. J.C. Ing, the batter. J.C. takes a strike. 0-1 the count. 11-1 Knights in the fourth. The strike 1 pitch to J.C. misses down and in. Brett Taylor from KEZI, who has packed up his gear after coming up to do a live spot tonight on KEZI on behalf of our own Jen Beaumont. He has packed up his gear and is on his way back to put the features together down at KEZI. A looper to left, coming in a hurry, diving and making an excellent catch is the left fielder Isaac Hogue, sprawling out to pull it in. Nice catch by Isaac to retire the side. The Knights do get 2 more. Brett was asking me the over-under, if I would take the over or the under on 18 runs, and I said, the under for sure, after the Knights scored 18 last night. Well, they do get 2 more here in the inning, and if we go to the 5th, they're up to 11, but I'm still sticking with the under. At the end of 4, the Knights 11, and the Cascade Collegiate All-Stars 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. The Knights leading 11-1 as we go to the top of the fifth inning. Ethan Collins takes over pitching chores for the Knights on this strikeout cancer night. The Knights are wearing special jerseys and hats this evening, and those jerseys, by the way, that they're wearing tonight are going to be auctioned off online throughout the rest of the season and awarded the highest bidder at the end of the year. So check it out at CorvallisKnights.com and check out those jerseys and help with the effort tonight on behalf of Jen Beaumont, our general manager, and she represents there's so many who have dealt with cancer, and no one, though, that I can think of has fought more bravely and courageously than Jen Beaumont has. So you can help with the effort by going online and taking a look at those special jerseys and get one of them and help with the effort here tonight. The first pitch delivered by Ethan Collins, pulled on the ground to Tyler Quinn by Peyton Rickard. Quinn picks it up and throws to first to get Peyton, who had walked and grounded into a force play in his previous plate appearances. The pitch to Hogan, a two-hopper to Tyler Quinn. The Knights second baseman gathers that one up and throws Hogan out. So just like that, 2 down with Ethan Collins out of Rossmore, California, and Pomona Pitzer. The two schools, Pomona College and Pitzer College, combined for the athletic endeavors at Pomona Pitzer. And with 2 down, it'll bring Matthew Suave to the plate. Suave wearing the mix number 7, is low for ball 1, 1-0. Matthew has flied to center and singled to left. He hits a ground ball wide at first, fielded by Blake Avila. Shovels to Ethan Collins covering. That's one of the quickest innings of the summer of 2023, 2 days in anyway. A 1-2-3 quick frame for Ethan Collins. We go to the bottom of the fifth. The Corvallis Knights 11 and the CCL All-Stars 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Three, two, one. Nice to meet you guys. Bye. Thanks for coming up. Just had the pleasure of meeting Casey and Alice coming to the game here tonight. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Alice. Escorted up here by Chantel. And kind enough to come up and say hello on this beautiful night for Knights baseball. 11-1 Knights. As Jacob Craig pulls one foul, he's down in the count 0-2, and he takes a breaking ball for strike 3 called. 3 pitches and a strikeout, with Jacob Craig going down on strikes. One away and Levi Jones, the batter. Levi is 0 for 3. Fly to center, hit back to the box, and struck out looking. Tyler Dish to the plate. The first pitch swung on and hit foul to the left and out of play. No balls and 1 strike to Levi with Kellen Siegel on deck. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. Alice coming up wanted a souvenir of sorts, signed a card for her. She came up here, and they said they listened to all the games, the Knights and the Beavers on the radio. Thank you, Alice and Casey, for that. But I signed the card, 6-23-23. The strike 2 pitch is down and away. That is because that is what I believe the date is. 35 years ago tonight, I remember a date well when the world champion Minnesota Twins came to Portland on June 23rd for an exhibition game at Civic Stadium. The 1-2 pitch is down and away, ball 2. People love winners. When you think about the possibility of Major League Baseball expanding, Nashville is all the rage. Montreal, highly favored by Major League players. Nashville number 1, Montreal number 2 in a survey of MLB players. 2-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Levi is 0 for 4. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tyler Dish, 2 down, and Kellen Siegel, who is 2 for 3 coming to the plate. I do believe Major League Baseball would work and be a big hit and a success in Portland. I really do. And I thought that many years ago. And even the Minnesota Twins 35 years ago coming into Portland Civic Stadium for an exhibition game drew 21,000 plus. But certainly the Twins coming in as defending champions. The year before they'd come in for an exhibition game and drew 7,200 when they weren't the champs. Tripled that when they came back the following year. Kellen Siegel swings and hits one foul off the canopy down the right field side near Casey corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, nobody on. 11-1 Knights in the 5th. Kirby Puckett and Kent Herbeck and company coming to town 35 years ago tonight in the big city. Fastball away, ball 1, 1-2. I remember it well for a number of reasons, one of which was a home run derby before the game with Kirby Puckett participating and then Kirby playing about 6 innings in the game, truly ingratiated himself with the fans. Kent Herbeck did not participate in either, much to the disappointment of the fans. 2-1 pitch missing for ball 3, 3-1. Those exhibition games meaning so much to the communities wherein they're played. And the 3-1 pitch to Kellen swung on and rolled slowly up along third, foul, in the count 3-2. That whatever one may say, and there's a lot to be said and has been said and written about Charlie Hustle and Pete Rose, speaking of the Johnny Bench era, 1970-ish. By the way, Bench, 148 RBIs in 70, 293, 45, and 148. But when Charlie Hustle came to Portland, as he did a couple of times, exhibition games with the Phillies, played all 9 innings of an exhibition game and played hard. Good for him. The 3-2 pitch, Kellen takes. Strike 3 called. Kellen felt the pitch was outside, and Tyler Dish strikes out the side in the 5th. And I remember Kirby had that same sweet spirit about him, and the fans loved him, and he participated in the home run derby. Some of his teammates did not, to their shame, I think. But Kirby, I know, had a lot of strange issues later, but he brought joy to the game in Portland 35 years ago tonight. We go to the 6th, the Knights 11, the CCL All-Stars 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Ethan Collins was a picture of efficiency last inning, retiring the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars in order. But he hits Bryce Johnson to lead matters off here in the 6th for CCL. And that brings Brett Housel to the plate. The Knights leading 11-1 as we move on to the top of the 6th. And then Ethan misses down and away. 1-0 to Housel. Brett responsible for the All-Stars run, hammering a home run over the 14-foot fence and left in the 2nd. Fly to center in the 3rd. Big curve ball in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Brett Housel with Max Patterson on deck. The 1-1 pitch from Ethan up and away, ball 2, 2-1. If you're visiting Corvallis to catch Knights baseball, be sure to stay at your locally owned Best Western Corvallis, the official hotel partner of your Corvallis Knights, close to Goss with the largest hotel rooms in the city and an outdoor heated pool. That would feel pretty good right about now. The pitch missing in the count, 2-1 to Brett Housel. Wherever life takes you, Best Western is there. Now 3-1 to Housel, who swings and it's one foul down the right side and out of play. The count goes full, 3-2. Max Patterson, the on-deck hitter. A hit batter to open the inning, now 3-2 to Brett Housel. Collins delivers, swung on and fouled into the netting. Straight back of the plate. 3-2 the count. The runner goes, the 3-2 pitch is high, and so Collins filling up the zone last inning, pitching to contact and 3 quick outs, has hit a batter and walked a batter to open the 6th here. And that'll bring Max Patterson to the plate. Max has been up twice and struck out twice. Top of the 6th inning. The Knights leading 11-1. The pitch to Max, hit foul and off the, not the facade, it got to the roof of Dixon Recreation. Someday somebody's going to go up there, and maybe they do in the offseason, so get on top of the Dixon Recreation roof, and there will be multitudinous baseballs. Good breaking ball from Ethan Collins in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count here in the top of the 6th inning, with runners at first and second and nobody out. A strike 2 fastball swung on and missed. A throw down to first, not in time. Housel gets back. 1 away, and Isaac Hogue will be the batter. Ethan is one of the smart ones. We haven't had a chance yet to get him on one of our pregame shows. But the hope is throughout the summer, today it was Joey Munt. And we've still got to get to many. Blake Avila, Kellen Siegel, Ethan Collins, Zach Johnson. During the course of the summer, we hope to be able to engage in a conversation with every player on the team. The first pitch after the strikeout from Ethan Collins to the left-hand hitting Isaac Hogue. Oh, pardon me, we've got a different hitter up there now. Let's see whom we have. Hogue made the great catch earlier. The strike 1 pitch is in there for strike 2. Bodie Smith is the batter here. Bodie takes strike 2, 0-2 the count. But Ethan Collins going to Pomona Pitzer, a tremendous academic institution. Majoring in molecular biology. A bounder wide of first. The throw to first from Blake Avila to Collins covering is in time for the out. 2 away on the play. Bryce Johnson goes to third and Housel into second. And we'll have another hitter now after Bodie Smith here in the 6th bounded out. A different hitter now for Carson Burns. Jaden Jackshaw will be the batter. The first pitch to Jaden, he checks a swing and takes high and away, ball 1, 1-0. That is a new one on me, that last name, Jacksaw. I like it. Somehow makes me think of Hacksaw Reynolds, Jacksaw. Swings and doesn't get it, and the count 1-1. Jaden Jacksaw, the batter. It's a good sounding name. But they told me, even though it looks like it should be Jackshaw or Jackshaw, it's pronounced Jacksaw. At least Coach Snyder told me that before the game. Jacksaw swings and hits one foul to the left and out of play. 1-2 the count to Jacksaw with runners at second and third, 2 down in the 6th. The Knights leading 11-1. Jaden out of College of Southern Idaho. 1-2 the count. Second and third, 2 down. The right-hander Ethan Collins from the stretch delivers, swung on and missed for strike 3. So a nice recovery by Ethan. A hit batter and a walk, and he retires the next 3, 2 by strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Knights 11 and the All-Stars 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the 6th inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights leading comfortably. They won last night 18-0 in a non-league affair against the Girding Builders Market men. They lead the Cascade Collegiate All-Stars 11-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Ethan Hott will lead things off for the Knights against Tyler Dish, who struck out the side last inning. The first pitch to Ethan is outside. Ethan walked in his first 2 plate appearances and scored. He doubled to center in the 4th. 11-1 Knights, bottom of the 6th. Dish back to the plate and misses for ball 2, 2-0. Ethan Hott, Ty Yukamoto, and Tyler Quinn against Dish. The 2-0 pitch, down and in, ball 3. 3-0 to Hott. Three balls and no strikes. Dish back to the plate and delivers a strike, and the count 3-1. Dish, I believe, was the name of a character in Lonesome Dove, played by D.B. Sweeney. The miniseries, the 3-1 pitch, strike 2 on the inside corner. I bring that up only because of Civic Stadium coming to mind, the Twins 35 years ago. A couple of years later, D.B. Sweeney was making a movie in Portland and came to some Portland Beavers games, and I had the chance to meet him and interact with him a little bit. The 3-2 pitch missing high and away, ball 4. Ethan Hott trots down to first, his third free pass of the night. Tai Yukamoto, the batter. And you saw D.B. Sweeney play Shoeless Joe Jackson in the film 8 Men Out. Beautiful swing, and he would take BP with the Portland Beavers. And he knew how, I mean, he was a true baseball player. And you see his swing in 8 Men Out as Shoeless Joe. It's very good. And this is a good swing by Yukamoto, but it'll stay in the park. A drive to right, Matthew Suave in front of the warning track makes the catch. That wind blowing across from right to left, cutting that drive down. But a good swing by Yukamoto, jumping on the first pitch, but it's an out. And that'll bring Tyler Quinn to the plate. And Sweeney loved baseball and was a presence at Portland Beavers games through much of the 1989 season. Can't remember the film he was making in Portland, but I saw him again the following year making a film down in the Roseburg area that's become a little bit of a cult classic, I think. Fire in the Sky, about some sort of alien visitor. That was filmed down near Roseburg. I never saw it, but I've read about it. Tyler Quinn takes a strike, 0-1 the count. 11-1 Knights, bottom of the 6th. Ethan Hott held on at first. Breaking ball misses. Brody Jacksaw is the first baseman. A high drive to deep left field off the bat of Quinn, and so long. Tyler Quinn hits it out, a 2-run home run. The Knights lead it 13-1, and that's the best way to make sure you don't make an out. He's been driving the ball hard for outs. Well, just hit it over everybody and out of the yard, and that's all you got to do. You get one in the hit column, and in this case, Tyler Quinn hammering a 2-run home run into this twilight time at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights' second home run of the night. A 2-run blast for Quinn, and the Knights with a 13-1 lead. Tyler earlier had doubles, so he has 4 RBIs, scored 3 times. He is well on his way to being our Washington Park Advisors player of the game. The pitch to Anson Arrows, low and away, ball 1, 1-0. 13-1 Knights in the bottom of the 6th. The Knights with a crooked number in each inning save the 5th, last inning when they didn't score. Now a sharply hit ball fielded by Brett Housel. The second baseman plays it on a couple of hops and throws out Arrows, 2 down. And Blake Avila, who hit the other home run, a 2-run drive to right in the first, will come to the plate. Tyler Quinn with an impressive home run, much as Brett Housel's was for the CCL All-Stars in the second. But this one hit even deeper towards the alley in left center over the 14-foot fence. A little bit of help from the breeze blowing that away, but well struck by Tyler Quinn. 1 ball and no strikes to Blake Avila. Tyler Dish back to the plate. Breaking ball grounded back up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. Blake Avila having himself a night as well. He and Tyler Quinn in a race for that player of the game acknowledgement. Blake a 2-run homer and an RBI single in the 4th, and has 4 hits in the game. That'll bring J.C. Ing to the plate. J.C. has walked, bounced into a forced play, singled, and was robbed of a base hit on a diving catch by then left fielder Isaac Hogue. Hogue won't catch this one, nor will Max Patterson. Base hit into center field. Patterson plays it on a couple of hops, stopping at second base, Blake Avila. J.C. Ing with a base hit to center. And that'll bring Jacob Craig to the plate. Taking a look at some of the defensive changes Cascade Collegiate All-Stars now have Suave in center field, and we'll try to get everybody accounted for and in their proper spots as we go here in the bottom of the 6th. Suave now in center. With 2 on and 2 down, the first pitch missing to Jacob Craig. Ball 1, 1-0. 13-1 Knights in the 6th. I still got the under, but I'm getting nervous. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. If you live or work in one of 24 Western or Central Oregon counties, you're entitled to membership privileges and the full financial services at Oregon State Credit Union. Oregon State Credit Union is the proud title sponsor of the Knights Fireworks Show on July 2nd. The next pitch down in the turf, knocked down on the backhand on a good play by Brock Packer to run the count to 2-1. Oregon State Credit Union, investing in all of our communities and dedicated to creating financial solutions toward making local lives better. 2 balls and a strike to Jacob Craig with 2 on and 2 out and 2 more in. Jacob takes a breaking ball just outside, ball 3, 3-1. Tyler Dish, the second pitcher of the evening. Both have been roughed up, Jackson Van Eyck and now Dish as well. Come set. The 3-1 pitch to Craig is outside to load the bases. And Levi Jones, who would like to kind of get in on some of this action tonight, he's 0 for 4. He's the only Knights hitter who hasn't gotten on base tonight, so we'd like to change that here with the bases loaded and 2 down. 13-1, the Knights in front. Dish will go back to the windup as he works on Jones, who has struck out in his last 2 at-bats. The first pitch to Levi misses low and inside. Levi will be in action tomorrow as part of the Oregon All-Star Series, 3 o'clock tomorrow. A 7:05 night start, remember, as a result. And then 11 a.m. Sunday. The All-Star Series will continue here. The best 6A and 5A players in the state. Big swing and a miss by Levi Jones. And the count goes to 1-1. A 2-run home run for Tyler Quinn since Blake Avila and J.C. Ng with base hits. Jacob Craig drawing a walk. And now a ground ball back up the middle into center field, base hit. Avila scores. J.C. is right behind him to score. And Levi Jones does join the party. A 2-run single to center. And the Knights lead it 15-1. Can I adjust my prediction on the over-under? We'll see. A 2-run single for Levi. And Kellen Siegel, the batter for the 3rd time tonight. The Knights have batted around. Kellen has doubled, singled, grounded out, and struck out. Jacob Craig stepped on second and held there, so a couple of Beavers on the bases for Kellen Siegel, looking for his 3rd hit. Kellen takes a strike from Tyler Dish. 0-1 the count. This Cascade Collegiate All-Star team takes on some pretty serious competition during the course of their season. The pitch on the way is outside. They have 4 teams. The Sea Turtles, the Salamanders, the Chinooks, and the Llamas. This league established in 2018, providing opportunities for NWAC and NAIA and other NCAA players. We've talked about the many institutions that have contributed players to this league. The 1-1 pitch on the way, hit foul to the right and out of play. The count to Kellen, 1-2 with 2 on, 2 down, and 4 runs in the inning. This group plays 6 games with the Bend Bucks and then 7 against West Coast League competition. This one against the Knights. They also play singletons against Bellingham and Springfield, 2 against Walla Walla, and 2 against Yakima Valley. Siegel swings at the 1-2 pitch and doesn't get it for strike 3, and the inning is over. but the Knights get 4 more runs in the inning and have broken it wide open. We go to the 7th, the Knights 15, CCL 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Corvallis Knights 15 runs, 15 hits, and no errors. The Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars 1 run, 4 hits, and 3 errors. Frank Camarillo is the new pitcher for the Knights as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Camarillo out of Moreno Valley High School and attends the University of California at Santa Barbara. 6'4", 198-pound right-hander getting ready to face, leading things off on this night that's getting chillier and chillier as we go, the catcher Brock Packer. Boy, I mean, that has been the recurring theme. Last night was the true outlier in our schedule so far. Warm and gorgeous for a night. And now it feels like a return to normalcy with apologies to Warren G. Harding. Frank Camarillo delivers an inside-out hack, produces a ground ball outside of first and down the line. No balls and 1 strike to Brock Packer, who singled to right and struck out. Top of the 7th. Camarillo back to the plate and delivers strike 2. The temperature has dropped to 60 degrees. It says it feels like 58 here. Yeah, strike 2 pitch is high, maybe 48. High and in, ball 1, 1-2. It's just where we sit, where I sit outside of the McGrath family press box, kind of a wind tunnel through here. Camarillo delivers the 1-2 pitch away. And last night, there's no, like last night, no better place to be. But a little bit chilly again tonight after a 1 day's respite. The 2-2 pitch from Frank, good breaking ball, a ground ball to short. Yukamoto fields and throws across to first for the out to get Brock Packer. 1 away in the top of the 7th. And Brody Jacksaw will come to the plate. We saw Jaden Jacksaw hit last inning, and now Brody Jacksaw up there here in the 7th. First pitch to Brody in there for a strike, 0-1 the count. Peyton Rickard had walked and grounded out twice. Camarillo working quickly, fires a fastball up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Frank back to the plate. Good breaking ball in there. And the count 1-2. And it's got some bite to it, that slider. Good looking pitch. Camarillo also a very quick worker. Gets the ball back and he's ready to go. The 1-2 pitch, big leg kick, delivers, breaking ball, got him swinging. That's not quite as tight as the last one, but a little bit different kind of look on the breaking ball. And Frank Camarillo with 2 quick outs. Tyler Hogan, the batter. Hogan out of Edmonds. Looks at a fastball high, ball 1. Edmonds Community College in Snohomish. 1-0 the count, 2 down, nobody on. Camarillo back to the plate. There's a breaking ball and a swing called by the home plate umpire without recourse to help. Tyler Hogan 0 for 3. 15-1 Knights in the 7th. Camarillo back, fastball swung on and missed. And the count 1-2. Camarillo trying to make quick work of the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars. The right-hander ready, the 1-2 pitch, off speed and hit foul. Just beyond a youngster with a glove in the back row on the far end of the McGrath family press box to the north side. He couldn't quite snag it. The 1-2 pitch taken down and in, ball 2, 2-2. I can see father and son communicating now, I hope in a little more amicable manner than Cat Stevens and his son. The 2-2 pitch on the way, cued foul to third base coach Andrew Snyder. Great song, by the way, but the son is trying to say, Dad, let's go get that baseball. They can see where it landed in the trees outside the ballpark. Son wants to go get the ball. Dad saying, well, we're still here at the game. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Good stuff from Frank Camarillo. He retires the All-Stars in order, and the last 2 by strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 7th on this cooling night in Corvallis. The Knights 15 and CCL 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. James Joss takes over on the bump for the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars. Joss loosening up with his battery mate as we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Knights leading 15-1. James Joss out of Wenatchee Valley Community College will begin his outing against Ethan Hott, who has walked 3 times, scored each time, and doubled. Backs away from a fastball, does Ethan, inside, ball 1. Ethan Hott, Ty Yukamoto, and Tyler Quinn for the Knights in the bottom of the 7th. I see fans walking up the steps with hot chocolate and coffee in their hands, just to warm their hands up. Line drive by Hott, base hit to right field. Ethan Hott continuing to stay exactly that way. A base hit to right. He's doubled and singled to go with his 3 walks and 3 runs scored. Tai Yukamoto, the batter. Tai hit deep to right field for an out on the first pitch that he saw last inning. The Knights batted around last inning. They batted around 3 times tonight. They lead it 15-1 in the bottom of the 7th. James Joss to the plate. A check swing 2 bouncer to the third baseman, who throws across to first for the out. 1 away on a nice play made by Jaden Jacksaw. On the play, Ethan Hott advances to second. Tyler Quinn will be the batter, and he and Blake Avila competing for our Washington Park Advisors Player of the Game. Poor Delaney walking through the stands, cold as can be. Walking through the Riley Concourse. It's chilly. People saw the sunshine and got a little deceived by it earlier. Some of the staff members for the Knights cold here tonight. Tyler Quinn taking a breaking ball inside, 1-0 the count. Present company included. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1. Tyler has lined out, doubled home 2. He scored 4 runs. He's driven in 4. He had a 2-run home run last inning. The 1-1 pitch is in there for a strike from James Joss. Joss. I don't know if he's a descendant in any way of that fine character actor, Eddie Joss. Can't remember all of his films. I know he played C.S. Lewis in Shadowlands, an early version of it before Anthony Hopkins did. The 1-2 pitch, good breaking ball. It ties up Tyler Quinn, who swings over the top of it for strike 3. 2 down. And Anson Arrows will be the batter. Bottom of the 7th, 15-1 Knights, 15 runs and 16 hits. Tomorrow night, 7:05, a 6:50 airtime. The later start due to the 3 o'clock Oregon All-Star Series game between the top players broken up in the state of Oregon into the North and South divisions. The best 6A, 5A players from the North and South battling each other tomorrow at 3, Sunday morning at 11, right here at Goss. Anson Arrows takes low, ball 1, 1-0. Ethan Hott at second, 2 down, bottom of the 7th. James Joss glances back at Hott. Breaking ball high, ball 2, 2-0. Coach Nags and Coach Brooke Knight, both with pretty heavy jackets on, and Brooke has his hands buried into the front pockets of his pullover. It's that kind of night again after that, as I mentioned, glorious respite yesterday. The pitch hit foul to the left and out of play. Somebody needs to get, I see Delaney walking through again, just gripping her, trying to hug herself. She's so cold. Somebody needs to get her a Knights hoodie of some sort. The 2-1 pitch blasted to deep left center, but it's going to stay in the yard, moving back on the ball and hauling it in after a long run out in center field, Matthew Suave. Good contact for Arrows, a long out, and we go to the 8th. The Knights 15 and the CCL All-Stars 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Well, I'm told it's the best news of the night. Delaney got a hoodie. Somebody's got to write a song about that. Delaney got a hoodie, and and here's Eli walking through with some sort of white robe on through the Jack Riley concourse. A great Knights fan, Eli. But Delaney got a hoodie. Go to Montebello when you get a chance as we go to the top of the 8th inning. The Knights leading 15-1. Looks like we've got another new pitcher in for the Corvallis Knights with his walk-in song. Jake Mulholland favored this Johnny Cash tune. It's got a quality to it. It does. It's a little bit like, and I'm trying to figure out who we've got here now for the Knights coming in. It'll be Caleb Woltz using his the Johnny Cash song. Is the song. I don't know what the name of it is. I've heard it many times. But sooner or later, Johnny says something about sooner or later God's going to cut you down. And so it's got a serious, heavy quality about it. And I've heard it as a walk-in song, entry song for a number of relief pitchers the last couple of years, starting with Oregon State's own Jake Mulholland. The best use of a Johnny Cash song in a movie is in The Hunted, a Benicio del Toro, Tommy Lee Jones thing filmed in Portland with When the Man Comes Around in the final credits. An interesting movie, too. I kind of liked it, in the use of Portland and the Willamette River and Willamette Falls, etc. Top of the 8th inning, Caleb Woltz to work on the left-hand hitting Matthew Suave. Matthew swings at the first pitch from Caleb and pulls it foul. No balls and a strike. Matthew is flied to center, single to left, grounded to first. The strike one pitch misses low, and the count 1-1. That's the prerogative, I guess, of the great Bean. That sooner or later, yeah, that can happen. He can also lift you up, too, I hope. 1 ball and 1 strike to Matthew Suave. The pitch is in the turf, ball 2, 2-1. Matthew Suave, Bryce Johnson, and Brett Housel, the scheduled hitters. In the top of the 8th, the Knights leading 15-1. The 2-1 pitch, fastball foul back. 2-2 the count. Oh, goodness. Just how windy and chilly it continues to get. 2-2 the count. 15-1 Knights in the 8th. Ground ball foul back at first. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Matthew Suave. The right-hander Caleb Woltz from the stretch. The 2-2 pitch on the way hits Suave. Suave down to first, and the batter will be Bryce Johnson, who has struck out twice and been hit by a pitch. Okay, well, I've learned my lesson. Never again coming without a blanket here. The pitch on the way, fastball foul back, and the count 0-1. I mean, it was 85, 86 degrees late into the ballgame last night. It was just perfect. And I thought, okay, summer has arrived. Well, it did, and it's gone. 0-1 the count to Bryce Johnson. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count 0-2. The Knights with 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 4 in the sixth. Caleb Woltz, the right-hander from the stretch. The strike 2 pitch from Caleb, breaking ball down. Caleb from Aurora, Colorado, and attends the University of San Francisco, so he knows about conditions such as this, I'm sure. They don't have lights, fastball up and in the Dons ballpark, but I imagine that he has pitched through some chilling conditions at USF and in the West Coast Conference. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Bryce Johnson. Caleb Bolts kicks and comes to the plate. A ground ball foul outside of first, past the pride of Pleasant Hill and Thurston High School. Luke Thorson played at Grays Harbor Community College, coming out of Thurston High School in Springfield. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bryce. A leadoff hit batter, Matthew Suave, held on by Blake Avila. The 2-2 pitch from Woltz is high and inside, ball 3, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch, chased and missed. Strike 3. Johnson has struck out on high fastballs 3 times tonight. That one was up and in on under his hands. He swung at what would have been ball 4. And that will bring to the plate for the CCL All-Stars a right-handed hitter who takes the fastball very high, ball 1, 1-0. Ryan Contreras out of Everett Community College. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Ryan. Very high again, ball 2, 2-0. Contreras in the top of the 8th inning with the Knights leading 15-1. Takes a breaking ball down from Woltz. 3 balls and no strikes. Caleb ready, the 3-0 pitch. High and inside, ball 4. And so 2 freebies in the inning. That'll bring to the plate Tyler Skylerman. Out to the mound goes Bo Kearns with a 14-run lead. I'm sure Bo is just saying, hey, got to use your defense, throw strikes, fill up the zone. And it's the obvious counsel to a pitcher struggling with command, a hit batter and a walk in the inning. But oftentimes just, as Dr. Johnson said, the human race more often needs to be reminded than instructed. And that's a fairly wise saying from the great lexicographer. And so, just a quick visit as a reminder to Caleb with 2 on and 1 out. Skylerman takes the fastball high and inside. Woltz has been a little bit erratic, certainly, is missing high and inside on a number of pitches in the inning. Trying to kind of harness that, get himself back on track with 2 on and 1 out. Fastball high and away, ball 2, 2-0. Caleb's 2-0 pitch misses for ball 3, 3-0. This is non-league action. Caleb coming in 5 2/3 innings, 9 strikeouts, 6 walks. And he issues ball 4 here. And we'll see how much longer the Knights will go with it, and not longer. That's, I think, almost more than anything else, a principled take by Brook Knight. A 14-run lead and a hit batter and 2 walks. Caleb Woltz, unfortunately, will not be able to continue. The Knights will go to the bullpen. That's too bad for Caleb. It's a non-league game that doesn't count against his stats. He'll have other nights in the summer of 23 with the Corvallis Knights. This was not a good one for him. A hit batter, a strikeout, and then back-to-back walks. And so the Knights go to the bullpen. It looks as though they're going to bring in Jacob Craig, a 2-way player with the Beavers this past spring. It certainly looks like Big Jacob coming in with the bases loaded and 1 out. A pitching change break is coming. It's not Jacob Craig. has the same kind of build, but I don't believe it is. I can't quite tell from here. But we do have a new pitcher coming in. We'll take a pitching change break with the bases loaded and 1 out. We'll be back in 60 seconds. A pitching change break. The Knights leading 15-1 in the 8th on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Wearing 29 tonight and not 44, and Jacob had been up as the DH, so he'll stay in the game as the pitcher now, with Big Jacob taking over with the bases loaded and 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. The Knights leading 15-1. Jacob making his pitching debut with the Corvallis Knights and delivers a fastball strike. 0-1 the count. With the left-hand hitting Bodie Smith at the plate. Bases loaded, 1 out, the strike 1 pitch from Jacob. High and away in the count, 1-1. Joey Munt, on our pregame show, talked about how Darwin Barney was so big for him, just in terms of maintaining a positive outlook, believing that he could still come back and not get too deeply under just the miseries of being out for nearly 2 years. Darwin helped him navigate some of those struggles on the mental side of his comeback. Jacob Craig delivers, and the pitch fouled back again by Bodie. 1-2 the count. I bring Darwin Barney up only because seeing Jacob Craig come out as a pitcher, Darwin told me back in the spring as the Beaver baseball season was getting underway that Jacob Craig has the best arm on the Beaver staff. The 1-2 pitch is high, and not so much, I wouldn't even say staff, so much the best arm on the team, just in terms of being a baseball player with a strong arm, a first baseman, but a two-way player. And he just said the arm is lively. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Craig from the stretch delivers. Fastball just inside, ball 3, 3-2. That's a call that would have been nice to see the home plate umpire make, leading to a fan or two yelling, "Come on." The Knights don't want to issue another walk here, but Craig, with a count of 3-2 and the bases loaded, up against it, delivers a ground ball to second. Tyler Quinn juggles and has no play anywhere. And coming down the line to score is Matthew Suave, making it 15-2. A run batted in for Bodie Smith on the error charge to Tyler. 15-2 Knights, bases loaded and 1 out. And the batter will be Jaden Jacksaw with the bases remaining loaded and 1 out. Jacob Craig comes set, kicks and delivers, low and inside, ball 1, 1-0. There is a strong hope on the part of the Oregon State coaches that the guy we're looking at now on the bump for the Knights can be Garrett Forrester's successor at first base next spring. He delivers a good fastball in there for a strike, and it is still possible that Craig could be, and I think the summer with the Knights and opportunities such as this could go a long way in telling, can Jacob be a two-way guy again next spring with the Beavers? His 1-1 fastball inside, ball 2, 2-1. 15-2 Knights with the bases loaded and 1 out, and some activity will begin in the bullpen back of Jacob Craig now, who hasn't necessarily filled up the zone enough to inspire confidence about his ability to get through the rest of the inning. Now he throws one to the backstop, a possible play at the plate, but the ball gathered by Ansoneros comes to the plate, not in time to get Ryan Contreras, who comes in to score on a wild pitch. And it's now the Knights 15 and the Cascade Collegiate All-Stars 3, with the runners moving up 90 feet. Three balls and a strike. Craig delivers, swung on and missed, and the count goes full to 3-2. Tyler Skyleman now at third base. The base runner with Bodie Smith at second. The 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. Good job by Jacob Craig to come back from the 3-1 count to strike out Jaden Jacksaw. 2 down, and that'll bring Brock Packer, the catcher, to the plate. Second and third, 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning, 15-3. Jacob settles in at the belt, the big right-hander to the plate. Good fastball, swung on and missed. Jacob Craig, a big man at 6'5", 250. No balls and a strike. The strike 1 pitch on the way to Packer. Breaking ball in there, strike 2. 0-2 the count. So good mix for Jacob Craig here tonight. Fastball, changeup, breaking ball. He's ahead of the count, 0-2. Trying to take care of business here and end the top of the 8th inning. The right-hander ready, delivers, breaking ball down and away. 1-2 the count. Tyler Skyleman at third, Bodie Smith at second for the CCL All-Stars in the top of the 8th. 15 runs and 16 hits for the Knights, 3 runs and 4 hits for the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars. The Knights have been scoring plenty of runs of late. Breaking ball low and the count 2-2. 11, 18, and tonight 15 over their last 3 games. Now, the last 2 have been non-league affairs. Kamloops, the North Paws, tomorrow night at 7:05, a 6:50 airtime. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out, 2 in. The 2-2 pitch, a ground ball to the hole at short. Yukamoto's off-balance throw to first. Not dug out by Avila, and 2 runs will score on the infield single and RBI, and then throwing error allowing the second run to score. Brock Packer picking it up. Now the Knights 15 and the CCL All-Stars 4, with Skyleman and Bodie Smith scoring. Pretty good effort by Yukamoto to get to the ball, but his throw short hopped Avila. Blake not able to make the dig, and even if Blake had dug it out, I'm not sure that they would have been able to get the out on Packer. It would have been close. 15-5, pardon me now, with 2 runs scoring on the play. The first pitch to Brody Jacksaw is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Brock Packer at first. A 4-run inning for the All-Stars. The strike 1 pitch is fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Kamloops in tomorrow night, the first of a 3-game series, then Springfield on Tuesday as the long homestand continues. The strike 2 fastball just outside, ball 1, 1-2. Packer getting his lead held on by Avila. The 1-2 pitch on the way from Craig. Breaking ball got him swinging. The throw will go to first to get the put out after the pitch was in the dirt. Strike 3 to retire the side. The All-Stars pick up 4 in the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Knights 15, the All-Stars 5. On the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. $1,446 in the ballpark tonight. Our thanks to Pioneer Connect for presenting Strikeout Cancer Night and kicking-cancer.org, a website to go to. Kicking-cancer.org for t-shirts and wristbands and a lot of other merch that's available to help support the great effort on what has been a memorable night here at the ballpark and Strikeout Cancer Night with, again, the jerseys that you're seeing the Knights wear. They're available in an online auction throughout the rest of the season. You can go online and make bids on these jerseys, and they will be awarded, the jerseys will, to the highest bidders at the end of the year. And again, our thanks to, and a big thanks to our own general manager, Jen Beaumont, in her courageous battle. And it says courage on the back of the jerseys, including that of Blake Avila, who whacks a single to left field on the first pitch that he sees. Avila, a base hit to left. He has 5 hits, and I don't know. I may have to submit this to Andrew and Casey and Thomas and everybody. Could Avila be the guy with 5 hits and a 2-run homer over Tyler Quinn, who has 4 RBIs? We'll talk amongst ourselves during the last half-inning break, because we may need, with that base hit and a 5-hit night for Avila, I have Tyler Quinn right now as our Washington Park Advisors player of the game. But 5 hits, that's tough to do. So let's all consider it together. The first pitch, a strike to J.C. Ng in the bottom of the 8th. 15-5 Knights. Ng takes the strike one pitch, missing. One ball and 1 strike the count, with the Knights leading 15-5 in the bottom of the 8th. Fastball to J.C. misses low. Two balls and 1 strike the count. James Joss working on J.C. Ng. 15 runs and 17 hits for the Knights. JC, a good swing. Fouls it straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to JC. Pitcher Jacob Craig on deck. The Les Schwab Litter Patrol coming through the stands, gathering some things up. I'll need to have those youngsters bring those yellow bags up my way. Got a few things to contribute. The 2-2 pitch, high and away, ball 3. 3-2. They do a great job night in and night out. A crowd tonight of 1,446. 3-2 the count to J.C. Ing. Jacob Craig next. Three and two the count. Thank you, sweetheart. There you go. Appreciate that. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Joss delivers high for ball 4. Avila down to second. J.C. Ing drawing the walk, and Jacob Craig, who has walked twice, struck out and grounded out, coming to the plate. Jacob's actually walked 3 times tonight, pardon me. Our pitcher, Jacob Craig, at the plate with 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 18th inning. Jacob Joss nodding yes, and the right-hander comes set, glances back at Avila. The pitch on the way to Jacob is in there for a strike, 0-1 the count. The strike 1 pitch, breaking ball to Jacob inside, and the count 1-1. I don't know how many of you ever attended San Francisco Giants games at the Stick, but I've got to imagine that they felt like this and more so. The 1-1 pitch, Craig swings and fouls it back, and the count 1-2. Still kind of an amazing tale how and why Candlestick Point was chosen when the powers that be in the Bay Area and the city went to look. They went on a summer day where it was beautiful and nice and warm, and nobody ever really checked how things would get at night there. The 1-2 pitch, Jacob takes a breaking ball up, ball 2, 2-2. At least that's the story I've read through the years. And that those first few night games when the Giants got out of Seals Stadium and began to play in the Stick, I think in 1960, there were a lot of shocked, stunned, and disappointed people when they realized, oh my gosh, we're going to have to put up with this forever. Not quite. They finally got out of it and got to Pac Bell Park, I believe it originally was, in 93. No, they were still at the Stick in 93. I can't remember the year, but not long thereafter. The 2-2 pitch missing for ball 3, 3-2. But the winds are blowing through here tonight. Chilly summer night in Corvallis. The 3-2 pitch is low for ball 4. That loads the bases, and Levi Jones will come to the plate. Levi, a 2-run single in his last at-bat. That over-under deal, 18. I have nothing, believe me. I've never bet, other than a little football pool in high school on the NFL games, where I'd throw in a quarter and we'd wait to see who'd win the $7 or $8 pot at the end of the weekend. That's it. I've never bet on a sporting event in my life. So just you want to make sure that if any of the Oregon State people are listening, when I mention over-under, I'm just talking about Brett Taylor from KZI asking, do you think is the over-under 18? What would you take for runs? I said the under. And I felt pretty good about it until this inning now, with the Knights leading 15-5, but they've loaded the bases with nobody out. Levi Jones with a count of no balls and 2 strikes. The Knights with a chance to get to the number they achieved last night with the bases full, nobody out, up 15-5. The strike 2 pitch misses high and away to Levi. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Blake Avila at third, J.C. Ing at second, Jacob Craig at first. The 1-2 pitch on the way, breaking ball, lifted foul into the Waldo Way area. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1,446 tonight. Strikeout Cancer Night presented by Pioneer Connect, and in a very real way, a night honoring our own Jen Beaumont. Jen, if you're still with us this late, you are indeed a trooper in so many ways. The 1-2 pitch to Levi Jones. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and now Brooke Knight is coming down the line to talk to the home plate umpire about something. What, I'm not sure. I have Levi Jones with 3 strikes. And now Brooks going over a sequence here. I think Jones is struck out. I had the count at 1-2. And now the umpires will talk about whether or not Levi had 2 strikes on him, or I think the strikeout's been waved off. I'm not sure what Brooks saw, what led to the conversation. But Levi Jones still has life at the plate with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. The bases loaded and nobody out. So I'm not sure what that was all about. The right-hander, Jacob Joss, with a count of 1-2. We'll try it again. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3 after all, 1 away. And that'll bring to the plate Kellen Siegel. Kellen has doubled and singled, grounded out and struck out twice. The bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. 15-5 Knights. A base hit and 2 walks in the inning. Joss to the plate. Breaking ball misses inside. Ball 1, 1-0. Again, out of the stretch, the 1-0 pitch, a soft one-hopper. It hits the bag, picked up by the second baseman who tags out Jacob Craig for out number 2. On the play, Blake Avila comes in to score. Kellen Siegel with the RBI, fielder's choice, unassisted to the second baseman. Runners at first and third and 2 down, and Ethan Hott, the hitter, with James Joss coming to the plate. 16-5 Knights, first and third, 2 down. The pitch on the way, fastball, a line drive, base hit to right field. Ethan Hott is just a flat-out good hitter. Another base hit and an RBI for Ethan. 17-5 with J.C. Ing coming in to score. And that'll bring to the plate Ty Yukamoto, or will it? I think we're going to see a hitter. Luke Thiel will hit for Ty Yukamoto here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 17-5 Knights with runners at the corners and 2 down. Brooke Knight talks to Thiel. And now Brooke heads back towards the Knights dugout. Thiel, I don't think, has introduced himself yet to the home plate umpire, announced himself as the new hitter. Brooke steps down into the dugout, still contemplating his decision, with Kellen Siegel, the runner, now at third. Ethan Hott with a 3-hit night and has drawn 3 walks. And apparently it won't be Thiel. Brooke has reconsidered his reconsideration. He's got a pinch hitter coming up, Nathan Marshall. So I don't think Thiel was ever introduced. Nathan Marshall is the pinch hitter here in the bottom of the 8th with runners at first and third and 2 down. 17-5 Knights. Marshall takes a little bit low and inside, ball 1. Just got the report from Jen, bless your heart. Our general manager, Jen Beaumont, is indeed listening still and watching the Knights live stream and the excellent work of our crew tonight. The 1-0 pitch pulled down the left field line in the corner, foul, and the count 1-1. Andrew Henderson, Casey Lavin, Thomas Rudolph, Garrett Dworshak. Thank you guys for all of your excellent work, and know that in a night where we have been honored to honor our own Jen Beaumont, she's still with us late into this Saturday night, or Friday night, and will probably be with us late tomorrow night too. 7:05 for the first pitch with a 6:50 airtime. 1-1 to Nathan Marshall. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count 1-2. Now, Brooke Knight is walking towards the Knights dugout with his lineup card out, perhaps contemplating his defensive alignment for the top of the 9th inning. He's walked all the way away from his post at third with a 1-2 pitch from Joss. Fastball taken, strike 3 called, and I knew I had him all the way with the under. The Knights get 2 and settle for 17. We go to the top of the 9th. The Knights 17 and the All-Stars 5 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. We are making the old switcheroo thanks to, after consultation with the crew tonight. The crew has convinced me that, hey, 5-hit games just don't happen that often. 4 RBI games do, 5-hit games ever so rarely. And Blake Avila did hit a 2-run home run too. So Tyler Quinn was my original choice, but that last base hit by Blake Avila will render him Bobby Merwin's announcement here in a moment. I think Tyler will get through the night okay. He may not even be aware that it was pulled out from under him. I don't think he's going to lose any sleep over it tonight. So Sean Weiss gets some work in here now with the Knights leading 15-5 and trying to bring this non-league game home with 3 outs remaining. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. The 0-1 pitch from Sean is swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. So Sean Weiss with, as always, his folks here in the ballpark, on this chilly Friday night. Coming to the plate, and the strike 2 pitch is strike 3 called. So a 3-pitch strikeout against Tyler Hogan to open the top of the 9th inning. And now Matthew Suave, who has flied to center, single to left, grounded to first, and been hit by a pitch, steps in with the Knights leading 17-5 in the top of the 9th. Fastball swung on and missed. No balls and a strike. The Knights have used Zach Johnson, Ethan Collins, Frank Camarillo, Caleb Woltz, Jacob Craig, and now Sean, who misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 17 runs, 18 hits, and 2 errors for the Knights. Sean ready, the 1-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bryce Johnson, the on-deck hitter for the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch on the way, taken just inside. I think Andrew, that was you, Andrew, was talking to me during the half-inning break about your dad going to Candlestick as a kid growing up. Is that correct?
Yes, he said he almost got frostbite on the night games. He was a little cold.
Yes. The pitch on the way is a grounder to short. The throw across to first is in time. Tai Yukamoto no longer there.
Luckily, AT&T Park's beautiful.
Yeah,
right
AT&T is gorgeous. Yeah. Is it Oracle now? The pitch is it leads.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It is
Oracle now.
Yep.
I think it went from Pac Bell to AT&T and now Oracle. 2 down on the ground out. Levi Jones now playing shortstop. So 2 away in the top of the 9th. Bryce Johnson, the batter. Sean Weiss is a strike away. But yeah, not enough due diligence on the part of those that found Candlestick Point as the site for the original home of the Giants after Seal Stadium. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed in the count 1-1. 2 outs, top of the 9th. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is just because we've been cold the last couple of hours here tonight at Goss after one warm night last night. The 1-1 pitch down and away, ball 2. 2-1 to Bryce Johnson. Top of the 9th, 17-5 Knights. The 2-1 pitch popped up on the right side. This should do it. Nope, the Knights let it drop. Unbelievable. That was an easy pop-up that just about anybody on the field could have caught, it seemed. Tyler Quinn letting the ball go. And the Knights' first baseman looked like he was calling for it and probably should have taken it. But instead of the ball game being over, that ball lands between Ethan Hedges and Tyler Quinn on the right side. And so Bryce Johnson is aboard on a bloop single, evidently. How else it can be scored? That should not be in any wise a hit, but I'm not sure how else it can be rendered. The pitch on the way is a fly ball into right center field. On the move is J.C. Ing to grab it. Good catch by J.C. And the ball game is over. The Knights were charged with an error. I'm not sure if it went to the first base, probably to Hedges, but that'll all sort itself out. It's a non-league game, and so no great matter, but both teams do end up with 3 errors. The Knights do win it on this chilly Friday night, the end of the non-league game, back-to-back non-league games. The Knights win them both big. 18-1 last night, and tonight over the Cascade Collegiate All-Stars, 17-5 for the Knights. 17 runs, 18 hits, and 3 errors for the Cascade Collegiate League All-Stars. 5 runs, 5 hits, and 3 errors before 1,446 on this strikeout cancer night. And again, our thanks to all of you for coming to the ballpark, for supporting the effort. Again, those jerseys, the special jerseys for tonight's game, are available online throughout the season, awarded to the highest bidder on an online auction standpoint for the rest of the year. So Jen Beaumont watching tonight at home with husband Aaron and Jesse James and Wyatt Earp. That's a good crew right there, Jen. We've been thinking of you all night long, and thank you for everything you've done for all of us, and thank you for continuing your unbelievable and courageous fight as you have contributed so much to the life of our community and to the Corvallis Knights specifically as the general manager and helping to build this organization into the great thing that it is. And your hand in it is seen everywhere throughout the park. Thank you again, Jen, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow night as we have been honored to honor Jen Beaumont tonight here on Strikeout Cancer Night presented by Pioneer Connect. Again, our final score, the Corvallis Knights 17 and the Cascade Collegiate All-Stars 5. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:50 with a 7:05 first pitch ahead of the Dash for Cash night tomorrow night. So we look forward to seeing you back here at the ballpark tomorrow, presented by Papa's Pizza and the State Farm agents of Corvallis and Philomath. Your youngsters can dash for cash. See you tomorrow. For the crew of Andrew Henderson, Casey Lavin, Thomas Rudolph, and Garrett Dworshak, this is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us. The Knights win again 17-5 over CCL on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. So long, everybody.